Hey everyone, this is Takashi here. Good to bring you guys topic session number two, and the topic of our session number two of our night will be men's experiences with women. And like I said, I'm gonna be here with a couple of hopefully a couple of the people who are gonna share their experience, interactions with women, the conversations I like with their women, literally, and it leads from dating to just full on you know, how good your synergy and communication is with a woman. So we're gonna go into all those factors, and then we're gonna everyone's gonna get a chance to share that. So as for me, um, I have a couple of questions I'm gonna ask everybody today, and it's gonna be at least like set down to 3 to 5, and depending on how many people show up, uh, I'll decide if I want to extend the stream even longer. Originally, we're trying to originally, if there's more people on, it'll be 2 hours. If not, it'll probably be a short, you know, I like a little short stream. But we're gonna get through this tonight, and then we're gonna have some fun and talk about our experiences with all you people and just share it. So all in all, I'm gonna wait. Yeah. So to any people who are just now watching or tuning in, because I only got one person watching or showing up. So I'm gonna wait. It's gonna be a 5 minute wait period if anybody comes in, and if not, like I said, it'll be a short stream regardless. I'm gonna talk about my experiences number one, and then everybody comes in, I'm gonna let them share theirs. So what I just said like at least 2 times already. So just so people don't get bored, I'll be going first if anything. Guys, give me a quick second. Sorry about that, guys. I'm just taking care of something real quick. Uh, yeah, guys, just hold on for a bit. Like I said, I'm gonna get things started in about a minute or two, and then I'm gonna start the conversation with sharing you guys my experience, and I'm gonna go down the list of my interactions, what made me confident, what was a starting point for me, and also how sorry guys, how it ended up me. I'm messing up my words tonight, guys. I'm really sorry, but how I ended up being able to be one of those people who was able to speak, confidently to another woman about conversation. Just exchanging, social pleasantries, likes, dislikes, or pros and cons about subjects and matters that we love. Jay Bones, thanks for showing up, brother. I really appreciate it, man. You're also welcome to come on if you want to share, your experience with women that you've had, how, and I'm gonna ask you like set questions. I'm gonna ask you three specifically, and then you're welcome to let somebody else take the floor after that. But yeah, just give me a quick minute, guys. This will be like a real quick second. All right. So I'm gonna put myself back on camera in the next 50 seconds, and then we're gonna get started. All right. Back to camera. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, zero. All right. All right, guys. Just got done eating, and I'm ready to go. So it's gonna be set up. It's gonna be set up to three to four questions. I know I said five. but I'm actually gonna change that now because I'm gonna because I realized one question kind of goes hand in hand with question three. So I'm gonna scratch that off. So it'll be four. My man Marcus, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. You're welcome to join, my man. All
Hey,
right,
what's up, man? I'm gonna mute myself though, right?
all right, cool. Because I'm gonna go first. Gotcha. But just so Marcus, I'm gonna tell Marcus everything what I said earlier since he just got on. Um, he said nice hat. Thanks, man. I love my alien hat, bro. I love it. J Bones, appreciate that comment. Um, aliens for the win. But Marcus, the questions will be normally, what was your the first question is, how did you learn to have good conversation exchanges with a woman? Two, did you did you get any confidence when before you started interacting with women? And three, what was the last interaction between you and a woman was like? So that'd be three. I'm keeping the bonus question four for later on. So
What was the first one? Just that. I remember the last two. What was the first one?
all right, so the first one's gonna be, hey Wes, thanks for coming in, my man. I'm glad to have you on. Come right in, brother.
Of course.
Oh shit, it's Wes. What's up,
I'm really
man?
curious. I'm really curious to hear what you have to say normally, but I'm gonna go through the questions again for everybody. So it's gonna be a set of three questions, and the fourth is gonna be a bonus, and I'm gonna save that for the last because I think that'll be like a spicy topic that we all can talk about. So the first question would be, how did you how did you uh how did you gain the courage in order to exchange pleasantries with a woman, basically to conversate? And two, what what was the key to get for you to getting confidence to talk to a woman? That's two. And three, what was your last interaction with the woman? What was that like? So it'll be those three. So I'm gonna go first just so I can help break the ice for everybody because I'm the host. I gotta regulate this somehow. So I'm gonna go first. So my first, like, throughout the years going on in from going from middle school right into high school, I had lots of conversation with the guys, but I was never ever fully able to talk to a girl full on until I was able to gain some confidence from my boys, but also from my father and then from my mother, being able to speak to girls because girls to me were like, they weren't devils or anything. They was just like, you gotta kind of be on your you kind of have to be on your word, your lyrical words and your P's and Q's to be able to speak to them. It's because you don't want to say something insulting. So so guys, I was one of the shy guys that could speak to a girl at first, and please believe that changed right away when I got into specifically sports. So um, sports was basically for me the way of be able to be direct, be able to say what you mean to mean what you say. It was what my father always told me. I can say that to guys quite easily because guys are easy to communicate with. We're not hard, to interact with. But with girls, it's a little bit different. You kind of have to be subtle with it. You can't be super super direct, is what I was told. So my first full on talk with a girl literally was one of our swim mates, and her name was Alexis. Not to throw the full name out there, but she actually exchanged words with me, and I was nervous as all hell. I couldn't articulate my words, and I kind of like said like one key line sentences, and I felt stupid and dumb, and I broke down. I didn't mean like I went into a corner somewhere. I just kind of like I can't. I literally ran. I literally walked into the corner far away into the men's locker room, and I was like, "What the hell?" I got angry at myself because I could not even form a sentence around this woman, even though she was my age. It made me look like a freaking a greenhorn, quote unquote. That term, we all know what that means. You're not you're not so much of a eloquent speaker as you think that you are. You kind of think you're full of yourself, but you're not. Like, you're a fresh newborn baby. You don't know enough. So after that, after that exchange, I actually hit up my brother. This is where the healing came. I really went to speak to him, and he told me, "Yo, brother, did you ever think about actually speaking to our oldest brother about this? Why? Because he used to have the same problem that you have. Yeah, he could not, for real. Yes, he could not speak to girls at all. he actually had to he actually had to learn from our dad and then try to learn what structure was. Hence why he did sports like what we're doing now. And then he thought, and then I had to call him older brother because he wasn't in high school anymore. And I literally said I had a conversation with him. He told him, listen, bro, the key is not to be nervous. The key is not to dwindle your words. The key is to take your time and speak in perfect, complete sentences to that girl. Because with guys, you can just ramble on sometimes, but that's only gonna go for so long. Because like I said, sometimes we get bored, but we can handle conversation with one another, like I said before. But the difference is you gotta learn how to be subtle. You can't rush, and you need to take your time. Once you do that, she'll she'll uh she'll probably more likely probably more likely want to speak to you more once you do that. So I actually practiced a lot at home speaking speaking to a inanimate object as if it was a girl, and then I kept getting better and better at it. And then I did what he said for the first time. I actually spoke to Lexus again after like 4 weeks to pass from that exchange. And after I did that, she started wanting to talk to me more. She had more of a smile on her face. She didn't think I was awkward. I broke the ice with her, and I literally told her, "I'm sorry. I was just not good at talking to people." So but she says, "Really, you're speaking fine to me now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but I was nervous. That's the difference." And through that first exchange with her, I was able to start getting confidence to start talking to girls off rip. Now I didn't with every single one, but I started like actually just taking my time, and I started was I was able to read certain girls and like who to approach and who not to approach. That's what I did at first, and then after that, I certain girls would just come up to talk to me, right? And this is when I was on the swim team, guys. Not race, not when I was in my first year of track, because I did 1 year track and then I did 2 years of swim meet. But after that, confidence just blew up, and the guys finally saw that I was able to break out of my shell and just just be one of them and just be fun and then just be chilling. So it had a good result for me. But that's I'll share more with you guys, but that's just the first one. Marcus, oh no, oh yeah, Marcus, you go next, my man. That's all you.
My first experience with a girl. Is that the first question?
Yeah, exchanging conversations or like having the backbone that you might have to talk to her.
I think it was like elementary. I think elementary school when I first like had a girl and had her come over. Like nothing really happened. Like, but those kind of moments where it's like to finally interact with a girl at a young age, pre-teens, pre-puberty. Um, it was kind of awkward just because my parents showed up and it was like the rules, like, hey, I didn't ask my parents for permission and stuff.
Hmm. And then did you find any difficulty speaking with her? Oh, oh, he paused himself. Marcus, I don't know, Marcus, if you can hear me, but I said, did you have any difficulty speaking with her, man? Okay, I guess I'll be right back. I guess he's taking care of something.
He might have
Wes,
fallen off.
yeah, he might have because he's muted though. I don't think he's frozen, but I think he just muted himself. But Wes, um, your turn,
Well,
sir.
interesting topic. My parents didn't teach me shit about talking to anyone, so I didn't have that structure. I didn't have that structure growing up. Not that they had the best communication skills themselves, so adequate communication skills. It took me a long time to try and learn that. But growing up, I actually went to a private Christian school, so automatically everything is different. Everything is skewed. Let's see. You probably heard me speak before that in my younger days, I didn't value myself. That's one of the things I picked up from my upbringing, ways to not value myself. So I didn't attempt a whole lot of flirting or talking to the opposite sex that much. Even now at the age of 18, I joined the Marine Corps in a uh, totally different existence there, new set of rules. things were still. Let me think. I'm having to go back here like 20 years, dude.
No, it's fine. Take your time, sir.
But it is certain. I think when I finally started getting more comfortable talking to women, and that was like after my divorce, it's because it's partially one, starting to value myself more, two, not really caring about what other people think or care about what a woman thinks. And it took enough of rejection from enough women like to realize how retarded women actually are usually. That's a lot of times when a woman's rejecting you, that is a bullet that dodged you for you. Like so
Didn't think of it like that.
Well, let me give you this example. Back from the golden age of Craigslist, because I am that old.
I remember
Craigslist used to be, Craigslist used to be awesome. Everyone blamed Craigslist for all those people that got murdered. They didn't blame the idiots that said, "Yeah, I'll meet you at 3 a.m. in a dark alley in the where they usually buy drugs at. Sure, I'll do that. Oh, sure, I've never met you before, but yeah, you can come watch my child." So those are the people that ruined it. But I remember years ago, I responded to a personals ad, and this was when they still used your actual email address to respond back to. And most people by that time didn't realize you can, reverse look things up. So I Googled her email address, right? But she was demanding that I send her a picture. I'm like, well, can we get to know each other? And I had taken her. She advertised herself as a slightly chubby Latina. I can deal with that, not a problem. Okay, but after she demanded a picture, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to investigate more. And I Googled her email address and found her. There's nothing slightly there. She was a freaking orca, dude. But I responded to her. I was still nice enough to respond to her and say, hey, can we just like talk and get to know each other first? And she ended it right there. I'm like, what goes through these women's heads? There's nothing slightly there. Friggin' like there's a weight limit on the elevator. You surpass it.
Yeah. Right. Like you're willing to jump from like A all the way to freaking like final like home base. And you're not trying to like have any interpersonal connection with anyone. I've run into something like that multiple times. And whatever it is, I just zone out. I'm like, okay, whatever. Bye. Thank you for telling me that. Yeah. I definitely see that point. That's pretty wild.
So ignore the rejections.
At least for me. Yeah. That's something nobody should have to deal with. But you're gonna experience that one time, to never let it happen again. Trust me, you won't do the same mistake again. That's what I tell people. I'm like, you won't do it again. Once it happens the first time, you'll be like, all right, shut that down. She said that again. No. Bye. You have to
don't deal with them when they're being retarded. If they just want to keep starting arguments,
yes, and
be done with it.
Trust me, we'll get into that later on. Definitely.
Okay.
We'll get into that later on, especially if it becomes like a discussion that becomes very poisonous. I'll talk about that specifically. Marcus, let me see if Marcus is there. Marcus, you still there, brother? Hold on. Actually, I can't unmute his mic. They chose to mute themselves. Okay, he's probably dealing with something. Don't worry, we'll get him caught
probably
up.
dealing with some technological.
Sorry about that. Yeah, my bad. The audio stuff was messing up in the service.
Oh, okay. Thank you, man. Like I said,
that's why.
I don't know if everything's okay.
No, yeah. So, but I was I was listening to Wes's point, and then I was remembering what I was saying earlier too. But I think my interaction with the first girl, it was just my parents didn't teach me how to be. My parents kind of was like, be just respectful, be courteous, treat them right if they treat you right, treat others how you want to be treated type stuff. Very simple, basic stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, like the girl that I brought over, it was kind of weird because I hadn't asked my parents' permission. I didn't know at the time. I thought it was just like bringing friends over from school, and then middle school hits, and then it's a different thing because it's finally like your puberty starts coming in effect in middle school. And that's when I realized like the difference between when it comes to like attraction, dating, hormones, etc. And some girls attracted themselves to me. I attracted myself to girls. And you kind of start learning like female nature if you're really 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade, a little. And then once you hit like junior year, senior year, you start realizing, oh, like certain girls like this, certain girls like that. Sometimes girls, like Wes said, they say they want this, but they do the opposite. They can be crazy at times, a little bipolar. I just realized that, but that's just my opinion.
Okay. Thank you, brother, for sharing that.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so I guess we can get to the. So I guess we can get to the second part of the question. What the funk? Actually, okay, he's on. I'm gonna let him go next. Hold on. What the funk? Thanks for joining us, my brother. Appreciate it.
Let's have some.
Hey man,
Let's
listen.
have a fun conversation.
Hey man,
I
thank you. I
I
appreciate
just
that
caught the
comment.
last thing that Mark was saying, and I was just speaking before the Billions about this. He did a live stream about socially awkwardness, and there's two things that I kind of noticed, is especially in the modern U.S. economy, like if you're logical, reading literature, and actually like a good soul. A lot of times when you're in the environment of a public school, you're deemed socially awkward because everyone else around you is doing bullshit. So it's actually, you're not so much that you're socially awkward, you're just around the wrong set of people. And one of the things that he also pointed out was when he started doing the characteristics. I just woke up, so give me a second. I'm gonna get some coffee in a bit. But it really kind of showed that a lot of pretty women have these exact same traits of like knowing how to be empathetic, knowing when to stop a conversation, picking up on social cues. Pretty women rarely have these traits. And I would deem to say that most pretty women, and let's say most women in modern society, are socially awkward. It's just the fact that they look good and they're not ever labeled that because one, they're women, and two, men are trying to sleep with them. But in actuality, when it comes to actually just having conversations where they're actually going back and forth, not just them being heard, they are socially awkward. And I would attest to anyone who thinks that they are not socially awkward, if you can go on stage and do like a TED Talk type mentality for at least 5 minutes. A lot of our women who are so educated would be absolutely terrified to do that. Whereas some of the men who are deemed socially awkward actually wouldn't have a problem doing that. I wouldn't have a problem doing that because I've bartended my whole life. And I'm even willing to say that Jay would not have a problem doing that, even though he's probably been labeled socially awkward.
That's fair.
So
Thank
it's a
you.
dope live stream to check out. It was even one of the ladies who was on the stream, I was like, you're pretty socially awkward, because she kept interrupting and like making really weird ass points when the conversation was flowing. But yeah, Before the Billions channel is definitely worth checking out, and it was a great topic. And we're going to dive into watching Strictly Business, the old 90s movie, and Class Act, the Kid and Play movie. And we're going to do a movie breakdown. And Jay, if you want to be involved with that, let me know. It's going to be a really dope
definitely,
stream.
bro.
Yeah, if
Definitely.
you've
I've
never
seen
seen the
both those
movies,
movies.
I definitely suggest it. But they're two great kind of like 1990s movies, like from a Black perspective, about two men who are like kind of socially awkward, who have to kind of get out their shell and end up, getting the woman that they really want.
Right.
You said it's
I
called
love,
Strictly Business in the 1990s?
Yeah, it had Halle Berry and the guy from the Cosby Show. Nobody knows his name. He was Lisa Bonet's military.
We only care about Halle Berry.
Halle Berry. Prime Halle Berry. 1990s Halle Berry, when she was
1990s. Yeah.
I don't
That's
care.
right.
Like
1990s, 2022, still good.
James Bond movie,
Yeah.
freaking
Especially
Halle
with the
Berry.
storm
We
wig.
talked
that
about
was
that.
the last.
Yeah.
Once she did Swordfish, it was like the meat started turning rotten.
I was gonna say, man, once you started going early 2000s, I'm just thinking about Kate Beckinsale in Underworld, that tight leather outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Yo.
Sir, you have issues you need to iron out. But okay, no.
Hey, I like Carmen. I like Carmen Electra. I like Prime Stacey Dash, Prime Vivica Fox, Prime Kate Beckinsale.
You know, the only
Remember
the first
Elizabeth
Underworld
Hurley
movie was
from,
okay. After that, it
Devil
was just
movie.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I need to go. I might be back later.
Okay,
All right,
for
Wes,
sure.
thanks for coming. I really appreciate it, brother. You be well.
Here to support, man.
Thank you. So, all right. What the funk kind of already answered it for me. So we're gonna go to, like I said, we have a total of 4 questions, and then we're gonna have a free for all later on tonight. And
Mhm.
I was everybody to get a chance to really speak, and I want What the Fun to share his experience because he has probably a lot more than we do. So, um, so number two, I did say, how did the I would say, how did the confidence help? Mike. Well, I will say this: the confidence that I gained from, at least from the sports team. My father, my brothers, they helped a lot. It really, like I said, it did a lot of good things for me. I saw a lot of different changes within myself, and just interactions with females were just so much easier for me at that point because I was able to, because going off the first point, I was able to know what girls I can and could approach. Now there were some girls where I could, like, you have to approach differently than others, and then there's ones where not to approach at all. So, because one of them are dangerous and it might cut you. So you gotta be careful. Like I said, beware for the
You went for
He
you
said
went for
Puerto,
straight.
Puerto Ricans might cut you. You got to be careful.
You said like
Okay.
straight violence.
Hey, your
Yeah.
approach is a dangerous game. You say that you
Hey
used to
man,
speak to
listen.
inanimate objects, correct? Which, like, a lot of people would kind of like deem as like weird, but that's actually a really good way to start role playing in your head. And I gave the
Hmm.
same thing to For the Billions. There's a book called The Book of Questions. And when I used to teach bartenders, I used to teach them that like you can ask these kind of questions to kind of get people to start flowing and going into rants, and you can kind of just sit back and analyze it. And I think it's really apparent for men to realize a lot of times with women, you want to have a ratio of like you speaking like 25 to 30% and her speaking 70 to 75%. Like in actuality, you want to just be sitting there and letting her vent, and then but you want to be listening so that when you do make your points, it's actually connecting to what she's saying because women absolutely love that. And then you are able to answer in the book of questions. You already have a bunch of questions in your head that would easily correlate with what she's talking about, so you can transfer it over and make the conversation go. And women love that shit, and you end up reaping the benefits afterwards. There's two versions. There's a white one on Amazon and a pink one that's on like a love and relationship one. But I already copied
Hmm.
it in PDF, and if you like, if you have Instagram, I can just link it, or Facebook, I can link it right to you. It's the entire list. And when I do
Okay.
readings for people, I use the book of questions, and I use a towel when I do readings for people, and it
Tyler
really
Ching.
it really
All right.
works out great.
Actually, I'm gonna send you my Instagram right now. I'm in the private chat and make sure that you can
Yeah.
send it to me.
If
And
you
I'm
need,
gonna
if you wanted
freaking
to,
look that
Marcus,
up.
like I said, it's prime knowledge for just getting
Oh,
conversation going with friends, with ladies, with everybody.
yeah,
And
it called the Tao Te Ching. Tao Te Ching.
well, yeah, no, that works too. Chicks eat that shit up. You be sounding all smart, but
Hmm. That's me.
the book of questions actually helps
You
out
know
a
me,
whole
man.
lot.
Oh yeah, for sure, absolutely. Yeah, I already wrote it down.
Okay, but
All
like I
right.
said, I can send it to you because I know people be cheap, so that's why I just did it in the PDF and just have it the whole thing, all 200 and something questions. And you can do a game where
Let's
it's like,
not be
tell me
cheap.
numbers that are important to you, and girls are like, oh, wait, what's your and you can just do a whole bunch of numbers games and then just ask the questions and then let them flow.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. I tell people. Um. All right, guys. I am going to go to the next question, and I'm gonna let everybody answer this one. I'm gonna let you two go first.
Is there anybody
So
in the backstage? Is everybody backstage waiting or not?
no, it's just you two
Okay.
guys, which is cool. Like I said, whoever comes on, I'll let them on. We're gonna continue without them. I'm not against anybody coming in now or later. It's all cool with me, but we're gonna knock this out, and then we're gonna have like some after hours discussion with this. So I guess the second question I have for you guys, because I already answered my part. So um, because no wait, what the fuck? I think you already answered it. My bad. I'm sorry, Marcus. You go. I'm sorry, guys.
What was the
Marcus,
question again?
you go. How, yeah. How did the confidence help you speak to the people?
I think in general it helped me with work, with getting jobs, with women, social interactive skills. Like you can tell the conversation goes differently when it's more of a confidence in how you carry yourself, how you walk, how you present yourself, how you sound. Yeah, whether it's the vocabulary or not, It's a confidence in all around sections. That's how I take it. And then people look at you differently. I noticed that people look at you differently when you're more of a confident guy, as opposed to
We have
more.
water off. Hold up.
Yeah. I was just drinking my gallon earlier. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
I got
and
two more
I
bottles to
just
go through before I sleep. Go ahead, Marcus.
I just noticed that though. Like it's just like anything from sounding confident to your posture to like just in general. Like I noticed that whether it's just employer, women, dating, even in your own family, I just noticed the difference.
Did you ever learn in the military about the trick about like mirroring people's body language to make them more at ease?
Oh, you mean like the how the body moves, like when you're interacting, like a social communication like that? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like if a girl's leaning back, you also lean back. If a girl kind of has like this, like you end up kind of mirroring.
Oh yeah. Because on the leaning back thing, it's more of her showing that she's relaxed, calm with you. This is the thing that I learned too. I learned it from when I was like a lance corporal and he was a sergeant. He told me whenever you see people with their foot kind of facing outward and like kind of like leaning, that means they kind of want to get out of it and kind of in a hurry. Maybe you should read that as well. And then especially if they're cutting in short to short answers instead of more elongated answers. I noticed that too, and I picked it up a little bit younger. I went in the military when I was like a young 19-year-old. I call myself a Padawan at that age, not a Jedi. I'm like a Padawan, like a student. And I was just like, like, so that's what that meant back then. If only I knew that back then. Now, what I'm knowing now, because you kind of start replaying certain moments or certain experiences, and you're like, oh, now that they put the cues together. Now you understand what this was meaning at that moment, or a woman's interaction, or certain. It could be the same sex you're talking to, like a friend or something, or a gym buddy or something. Like that's how I start.
Did you work on your voice, like your tone, because you have a very like I'm not sure if like I'm sure it's actually how you really talk, but you have a very good like monotone, flowing voice, and I'm pretty sure.
I get that. I've heard that before. I don't know. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing?
No, dude, it's a great thing.
It's actually a great thing, yeah.
Yeah, no, women love a good, soothing voice. It's not like overly inflated,
Raspy.
because or raspy or high, and like you have a. In fact, if you are military, like you have a voice of like an interrogator, like
I don't get that. I just don't see that, man. You know what it is though, but you know why though?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, the good cop. I'd probably be the funny ass cop who'd just be joking the fuck around. But for me, it's just me is I just learned. I used to take sometimes things serious and like how like that teen era when you're like the end of the world and my life is over type stuff, the drama of it. Back then, people used to take it serious, and then like I was like, nah, man, like it's all about fun. Like even back then when I was in high school, even though I was serious at times, I was still funny. Like I still try to make people laugh. And I hear my voice and I hear in the recordings, I don't sound like a guy that, even though chicks have gravitated to me before when I was single, I didn't sound like my voice didn't sound like strong or deep like that. Like I can be deep voice only because when I was in the military, they used to make you yell and repeat things and be like, yell at the top of your lungs. And then I would lose my voice for like 3 damn days. And then they still make you yell and punch you in the throat. And then,
Right.
God damn, military was like that.
And yeah, sometimes, but like it was just interesting because I hear myself and I hear what you're saying, like, and I take it as a good thing. It's just for me, maybe that's why girls, like when I was sitting conversate with women, I just want to make it a comfortable atmosphere, just people in general. I don't want them to look at me like I can be professional, but I also learn how to enjoy life. I think that's how I take it. When it's like time to have a serious conversation, it's time to have a serious conversation. And I get it. But when it's like, for me, overall, my outlook on life, it's like life's too short to be walking around pissed off. I look at the bright side of things. And like, I think like that's the issue with when men, I know for us men, we have a higher suicide. I'm sorry. Let's keep it YouTube sensitive. Higher deletion rate.
Sorry, woo aside. Woo aside.
Yeah. I just say self-deletion. Higher self-deletion rate. And like, and auto delete and like higher like hypertension and like high blood pressure and like shorter lifespans for men. I think part of that is Obviously, it's part of the work they put in. It's the dangerous jobs. It's the pressure, the weight they carry on their backs. Especially if you're a father, I think you have, not only do you have twice as much love and passion and empathy for your child, but you also have a lot of responsibility and duty to carry on as well, because that's what's more important too. Because as a father, you give your life for your child. You would die and protect, and damn near overkill on someone if they try to dare harm your child and hurt them. And that's what I understand and respect about being a single father more than a single mother. Not that I'm saying I don't appreciate single mothers, but single fathers, I've always found like more of a respect, just because even the statistics show, like, a lot of the mass shooters, obviously they're Caucasian, but they're also single mother households where they come from. They're very mentally maybe sick, mentally not well, or I don't know what the outlet is, but they've done some of the most heinous crimes, and they come from single mother households. And then a lot of the degenerate system, I'm not saying every single mother household, but a lot have produced degenerates of society, gang members, EPARs, to keep it YouTube sensitive, muck ducks instead of, the other word. And like, etc. So I think that's why it sucks when I hear about fathers going through the court system, especially the experience that I have when I worked in California, like interning at California Law in Riverside. It's so, you see some of the goodest and the best, some of the most honorable, respectful parents, whether it's man or woman, but most of the time it's men, and they get destroyed just because their wife didn't feel like being married anymore. Their wife cheated. I've heard of military men, when they come home, the Jody letters where the woman is fucking Jody, and then all of a sudden she cleans the bank account, and she takes all the money, and then everything is gone in the house, and the kids are gone, and you can't even find them anymore. But that's all I got to say about that. I don't want to go too deep into that right now. I know you got to shut it down.
Oh, no, don't worry, bro. Like I said, we're gonna touch up on it. We got 2 more questions, and we're gonna go in after hours really quickly. Like I said, this isn't that long.
Yeah.
But I was okay. Since we're talking about the negative aspect. No, it's cool. Yeah. So I would say this. So it could be, you can answer both plus to this, because I'll let what the funk go next, and then I'm gonna go next, and I'll let Marcus go last, because it's kind of switching it around. But what the funk? What was the last positive interaction you had with a woman? And as a bonus, what was the most negative interaction? Either you can go either on either one. You can do the bad first, or you can do the
actually it was the same woman.
Oh, okay.
So, here, I'll
okay,
do
go ahead,
quick.
bro.
I was gonna say, what the fuck knows about this?
Okay, well, I was going through my court case for my kids, right? And I really was like not trying to deal with anybody, because I didn't want some woman to feel like she was like my savior during like this during this time. So I kind of wanted to just go through my court case and deal with it solo, And so I was like kind of in my own zone, just creating art. And after I won my case, the sister hit me up from Switzerland. And she found out about my case because my power of attorney, actually, he teaches singing, and she like knew him. And so she was like, hey, I heard, and it's so good to see like a black man fighting for his kids and fighting to be here. Why don't you come to Switzerland, and I'll pay for you to take a train here, and I'll show you around. And I used to be a bartender. This was like before the pandemic really started. So I was like, shit, all right, yo, like she was fine. And, like freckles, so anyway, so we come out, she flies me out, but I get there, and first night, like gravy, like the flow is amazing. Everything's going. She's like, oh, nothing's going to happen. I'm like, all right, hey, I'm not really trying to push anything. Like, I'm just, and then stuff started happening. Like, that's always the best, So it's like, all right, yo, so great. It was a positive night. Epic. But then the next day, we were walking down the street, and this lady kind of came, and she's like trying to save the pandas. Like, she worked for the WWF or whatever. And in New York, like we used to get those women all the time. So like I always made fun of them, like kind of like. So she comes up and she's like, "Oh, do you know about the pandas?" And I was like, "Panda?" And she's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Panda." panda, 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 yeah, and I started doing the panda song from Designer. So the girl who was with me was just like, oh my God, you can't do that here. And I'm like, what do you mean I can't do that here? Like, she's like, you had a whole conversation, like, you know, like a few days ago about how you can't be your true self because you feel like you're always judged in your blackness, and like you wish you could be authentic, and that's why you like me, because, you know, I'm just authentically who I am. And now you're sitting here telling me I can't treat this panda pusher like with the panda song. Like, it's fucking funny. What's the problem? And she's like, oh, here in Switzerland, we just don't act that way. And I'm like, so what's the? And she went and then she pulled out a pack of cigarettes, and I didn't even know she smoked cigarettes. I'm like, I'm like, where did that come from? Like,
cigarettes.
So, like,
oh, you know what that be?
I was gonna say she's
Right,
probably
so,
gonna call PETA. She's about to call PETA right now.
Right, so we're like walking in the park all
Nah, man, she needed a
awkwardly.
release.
Yeah, so I'm walking in the park, and I'm just like I feel the energy. I'm like, yo, this ain't going back to what it was, because like you are legitimately trying to like kind of chastise me like a mother, and I'm just like, I've told you I've been a career, like this is my personality, this is what I am. I'm not gonna. So if that girl's just trying to she's just trying to work her job. I'm like, I don't care that she's trying to work her job. Like she's like, I'm not angry at her. I'm just laughing at the fact that that's what she has to do, and it's like, I'm not explaining my humor to you. Like, whatever. My humor is my humor. And she was fucking laughing anyway. If in actuality, I probably could have got her fucking phone number and like bagged her up. But you the one trying to be all like hissy fissy, like a grandma. And so, yeah. So, but she already paid for the hotel, so I got to have that for the next 3 days. So it was pretty awesome. So that was my
what the fuck? That was funny. What the fuck? Thank you for sharing, bro. That was funny. She said she went up on a hissy fit like a grandma. That's funny, bro.
I was dead ass confused though. I honestly thought like if I was with an American chick, that what I did would have got me even more points, because that was funny. Like she was coming with the W, and I set it up. I was like, panda. She's like, yeah, panda. Like panda. And I did I patted myself on the back for that one, but then I looked at her and she was just, and I was like, all right, well, yeah.
Yeah, you ain't it.
No, you are not it at all.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, exactly. Marcus, would you like to share one? Oh, Marcus, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Okay, bro, listen, okay. The last positive interaction you had with a woman, and then the negative, or it can be all together, like with the Funk Cat experience. Because I think I might do my bad one first, probably.
I can focus on the I think I'll just focus on one of the negative ones, one of the most negative in my life, probably the most.
Right.
So I think I talked to you about it before, but it was my ex before the girl I met now. Yeah, the one that was doing like a lot of false charges and false like money claims. She wanted to take me. It was mostly about money and you know, money changes things, and it was just ridiculous, like how it went. And so we broke up. We had been together for about, give or take, a little over a year, maybe less, about a year. But I had recently gotten into a relationship with her after I broke up with a different girl. And I think I had gone through 3 relationships in about like 2 years. And it was just bad. Instead of me doing that, I should have just been on my own, just having fun with women instead of jumping from relationship to relationship. I think that was my issue. And then with the one that caused a lot of havoc in my life and a lot of chaos, the last one before this one, you know, obviously she had like a lot of baggage that she carried because of abandonment issues from her father, a lot of issues from her ex-baby daddy. And then I think I felt like I had that weight on my shoulders to help her heal and be like her therapist. And that was me, just because I was trying to be a nice guy and compassionate and empathetic and give people the benefit of the doubt, which I still do. I still do that. I like to keep that part of me because that humanizes me more, you know? But she just kept, it was just conducive, like very toxically conducive to my nature. And You know, she relied a lot on medication, on pills. So that's always a dangerous thing when you involve yourself with a woman that's on antidepressants, on anxiety pills, on depression pills, and Prozac, Zoloft. She even asked for my own personal pills when I was like in an accident. She wanted my Percocets because I couldn't take the Percocets. I took them after like 1 or 2 days, and they constantly made me throw up. She wanted them because they helped her sleep, and she had some pain issues from her job because she worked with she was a behavioral specialist working with special needs kids. And she's like, yo, can you give me your perks? I was like, you sure you can handle them? Because I can't even handle them. And at that time, I was more fit, more athletic. I was getting injured from sports and stuff at times. And then my car accident that I had, I was like, you sure you can handle it? And dude, she used to take that shit and she used to handle that. I was like, that's not good, man. If you can handle that shit and I can't, that's a red flag for me, because that means that you've been on some shit before me. And next thing you know, she said, like, what was that?
That
I'm
was
sorry.
the red flag. Like you had like 12 others before that.
Yeah. I know, man. I know. Believe me. At this time, though, at that age, I was like 20, 21, and then I got attracted to her beauty, the lust, and then, man, we were pounding it out like it was like a sexathon, you know, like 3 or 4 times a day at times.
She was on all them pills. That's why.
No, I was like, at first it didn't look like it, and then I'm just like, man, she's feeling it, and like we would do it at the mall, in the parking lot. And you go to like a fucking like, I don't know, man. It was a fucking theater. There was an old couple looking at us, and then I started hearing her. There's an old couple looking at us. They started taking notes. They're like, oh shit, I'm gonna try that wheelbarrow.
We used to do that back in the day when my hip was.
Oh my god.
Gladys, remember when I used to do that to you?
Fucking Gladys Knight and the Supremes era. Yeah, the Supremes, the fucking Diana Ross, the Temptations. Yeah, but then later on, the romantic stuff started fizzling down, and then the serious stuff started happening. She started getting into it. Mostly my mom. It was an issue a rift between her and my mom. And that's chaotic as well, you know, when it's your family, your blood, and then it's your girl, and they're at heads with each other. It's never a good sight. And it sucked because I was in the middle trying to be the peacemaker. And so that's like the 13th red flag, as what the funk would say. And then it was collections. You know, I was in collections at that moment, and it didn't work out. I'm grateful it didn't work out. I knew it was going to end. I just wish it would have ended on better terms. She started taking me to court, you know, for like, oh, well, we went halfsies on a car and stuff. And like, you know, I want my half and stuff. And then what about all the stuff, my money I spent when I took you on dates? I was like, well, what about the money I spent you on dates? I'm not charging you. I still have receipts, but I'm not charging you about it. And then she literally like went to one of her friends who was like a lawyer, a law firm or whatever. I had to go public defender. At that time, I was still helping my mom with their medical bills, paying for my side of the rent and bills, my car. And I was still like 2021, so I didn't have that much experience when it came to jobs. At that time, I had gone to the reserves when I was coming out of active duty, and I was going to school, getting a job on the side. And then I'm like, man, like, this shit ain't my day or my month or my year. And I was like, I'm trying to catch a break, but this lady just she's not letting me go. Like, she's hell-bent on making an example out of me. Like, hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned. The relationship ended because she saw me that I was talking with someone else. I was talking to a different woman, but I had not got physical with the woman. I had not had sex with her, nor kissed her, nor nothing. We had just exchanged compliments and had conversations. And that was my bad on my part. I should have just ended it a long time ago on my part, you know, but the part that she was doing was like, she's out here to make me want to go broke and damn near try to call the cops on me for no apparent reason, as I already moved out. I had already moved out and left, and she was months later and she was still harassing me. I had gotten a restraining order on her. She had got a restraining order on me, alleging that I had hurt her. But then the lawyers looked at it and they tossed those false claims out and those false charges. And then she had said, oh, well, he was going to threaten to hurt me and my kid, because she had a kid too. But I was helped raising the kid and paying the bills as well. And they threw that charge out because there was no merit, you know, and it's all he said, she said. and I would never harm someone else's child, let alone if I had one of myself,
Nah.
And then, yeah, it just didn't work out. I ended up taking a deal where, all right, fine, as long as the charges are dropped, I'll pay her the money. But she ended up boosting up the small claims to like 9-10 grand. So right now it went down because of the COVID thing. They took away like 3 grand from the claim, so it's down like 6 grand or 7 grand, whatever. But it was just hell, man. But even with that, like, I still didn't give up on women. I still didn't look at women as a bad guy. I was more self-aware. And I had to, like, you know, look at things from a different perspective, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
I think you can look. I think you can go ahead and say modern women are the bad guy. No, after that experience, you can go ahead and.
Yeah, modern women, of course you can say that, but it just depends on how you raise your kids, and if the kids keep those values with them, and traditions. And certain cultures, kids are more respectful to the traditional culture.
What are the values and cultures of the American modern woman? The culture and value is usually to finesse. If we keep it 100. Like,
oh yeah, I see your point. I see your point on that.
Finesse by any means necessary. Like, they will, to finesse a system and just to sometimes hurt somebody who has made them feel some type of pain emotionally, they will go for the jugular. Whereas other cultures, when there's a breakup, women are still emotional, but they don't go to the levels that a lot of modern women do. And
stupid lengths.
It's not a black thing. It's not a white thing. It's not like women of all races can go to this level of using the system for their benefit to completely ruin a man's life. So I think in that sense, you can go ahead and say that women might be the enemy, and there are a few good gems in that bunch. And I think that's actually a better way to look at it.
Yeah, well, I could look at it that way. But like, for me, it's not that I was angry after what I went through. I was more like, I don't want to say traumatized, but just my anxiety went up, my depression went up at times. And then I was just nervous, like, man, I'm just a young guy trying to make it, I'm just a young guy trying to do the right thing, do the noble thing. And I'm trying to avoid trouble.
When it comes to trying to get your phone number and your hand starts shaking, like, you just like, no, not
no.
This.
Well, with that moment, at that moment, I'm thinking with my little head sometimes when I should be thinking with my brain, but like, I understand what you're getting at. Like, when a woman's giving you the number, just take it. But I vet carefully a little bit more. Like you said, like look, man, like, you missed the 12 flags. Before that, I look at some of the flags, so I learn from my mistakes on some things. So there are things that she did wrong, but there are things that I could have done better instead of getting too comfortable. Because I think that was my issue when I was younger, is I had more of attachment issues. Like, I didn't want to let go of someone that was treating me good or making me feel good, And I think that was the issue that I had, because my mom wasn't the most healthiest with my father when it came to being a couple. My mom was a great mom to us, but she was a bad, shitty ass wife to my dad. And I think that's where the moment that things start going bad, I don't want to dwell on it. I want to move past it. But with women, they tend to hold on to some shit, dude. I'm not going to lie. Some women, they tend to hold on to something. It could be like a dumbest thing, like an argument or disagreement. It can't even be something that big. And they look at you sideways, like I'm third world ugly. But bitch, have you seen yourself without makeup?
But that's a new one.
But like, the thing that me was, what really got me kind of hurt more was my parents had to visit me, like, when I was in jail 1 or 2 times, I think that's what really, when I saw my mom cry, that's what got me a little more hurt. And like, because I don't want to see them hurt because I'm in this situation. You know what I'm saying? And you want to know the dumbest thing why? Like, it was 2 reasons why I went to jail. One time was because I was trying to sneak in some friends while I was working for the Coachella Fest concert, but I was only there for a few hours. The other time was because I had a court for, the issues I was going through with the ex at the time. I had showed up 30 minutes late, and the judge wanted to make an example out of me. He wanted to add his 15 minutes because he took a shit in the restroom. He said, oh, you're 40 minutes late, 45 minutes late. No, I was 25 and I was rushing it. And every time that I've shown up early, you guys don't seat me and court me till that's 1 o'clock, 12:30. But the one time that I show up past 9, or around 9 or past 9, now you guys want to throw a fit. And my public defender was not saying shit. That's another thing that I tell guys: don't go with a public defender. Always go private lawyer. But that happened, and then I was in jail for almost like 3 weeks. I was in jail for 3 weeks. But it was no biggie because I had already some connections with some good people, cops and people that were in jail. And both sides looked out for me. So I was good on that part. It was just getting used to the differences, how they look at you. Because when they put that orange jumpsuit on you, it's like you're less than a person. You're like a thing, like a number, you know?
Yeah. And
yeah.
wow, Marcus, thank you for sharing, bro. I appreciate that. You gave us a full-on story, but that one question freaking sparked this. So I really appreciate you sharing your experience, bro. I'm sorry about the thing you had to go through. Because no brother should have to experience that. I
just want to ask, was it the face or the yams that had you hooked?
It was both, man. Because like I remember she's Latina.
She was fine, huh? She was
like a 9. She was like a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Those are the worst ones, sir. You need to get an ugly woman. Get you a 3 or a 4 so you can heal. I'm telling you.
Hey, there's a reason why now they call me the king of the 7s. They call me king of the 7s and the 6s. You know.
7th heaven.
Yeah,
the slayer of the 6th. Got you.
Yeah, the 6th slayer. The 6th
show, brother.
Yeah. No, but I appreciate you guys hearing me out. You know, I appreciate that. And you know, it's the reason why like I'm more passionate about when it's not that I'm hurt, because women say, "Oh, who hurt you?" Or I was like, it's not that it's hurt. It's more like it's experience. Like we have different experiences and walks of life. You know, it's not that we've hurt. It's just I want to if I can help it.
You hurt a bit, bro. Come on, let's keep it. You hurt. It's okay though. Like you got PTSD from that. Like real talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
you did tell me that you did, so yeah, I remember that. Man. Like that's something you can't. It takes a lot to get through something like that.
Yeah,
and I can't imagine.
Yeah,
like, if I went through that, I probably would come out a darker person. To be honest.
Well, I've seen some guys that were in there in jail that I was looking at through the bright side. There was dudes that were looking at through very negative, dark sides in jail. Like there are some dudes that they were already plotting the next hit, and like I was like, damn, bro, like you should be careful. There could be a Fed up in here. Could be an informant up in here. I was like, and I'm like, dude, like I just tell them like, don't go down that path, man. It ain't worth it, because you're gonna be, if they catch you, you're gonna be thrown for life, or you can get caught strikes. And like it's like a Medea movie on another charge, and then another charge, and Medea did another charge. You know, like it's not good. So yeah, I mean, it was somewhat hurting, but it was mostly hurting because I saw my family hurting. It wasn't so much about me. It was when I saw them like take it hard. That's what really bugged me.
Yeah. Well, all right. Let's think I gotta share. Wow. Because now, I'll keep her name anonymous. I don't have any ill will towards her. Because I guess I'm gonna go negative, then I go positive. Because I think it's just better if I let everybody know the truth about this, even then. So, the last girl I dated, she was the Christian I told you guys about. Like I said, I'll keep her name anonymous and everything, but she had some things about her that I did not know, and that I was able just to kind of call her out on, but also that was just very point blank noticeable at the time. And her thing was she always apologized for everything she did, even though she did nothing wrong. Sometimes, like little things, get so there's one thing when there's a woman that's too angry over something. That's a red flag. But for right here, another red flag would be if you apologize for something, for every little thing that you do. It sounds like you're an abuse victim, and it's like, well, I'm not abusing you, so who's doing this shit? And it's just like, apparently she had some post trauma being a quote unquote a victim of something, and I'll just say that, and to this day, I was never able to get it until like a later sorry about that later. 2 years ago when I actually found out because I needed to find out the reason of like why things ended the way it did because I had to end them because it seemed as if no matter what I did, it didn't seem to be enough to help you, and you rejected my help. And I said to myself, and I can't do for somebody who doesn't want my help. And the goal of a boyfriend or whatever is to help his girl if she's on hard times, because that's I'm all about that helping people, regardless of anything. She did not want my help, so therefore, I ended up letting her go because she a good girl with a good heart. The difference is she has a lot of trauma that needs to be resolved. And I was under the impression things were going well until I noticed things right there and I called it out. And she was not mad at me for it, but the difference was I told her, I comforted her. I did things that I said like, yo, if there's something like I said, there's something you need to talk about. Talk to me about it. Like I said, that's what I'm here for, literally. And it's like, well, I don't want your help, and I'm just like, okay, then there's nothing I can do. And I sat upon this for weeks when I didn't get any results. I gave her the space. Nothing came to that whatsoever. I ended it. And one of the biggest things I ended up that I think I did wrong was either one, I gave up too easy for her. That's what I think that I did wrong. Um, I did, and I probably should have given her a chance to explain herself even further because at one point I did, but she never gave me an answer or
Should have given her
wanted
dick.
to explain. All right, yeah. Come on, let's be real, Marcus. Let me get in. Let me get the serious thing out. But yeah, you could have probably thought of that, but that's not what she wanted. It just seemed like like a damaged
She
victim
wanted a
or something.
therapist.
That's what she needed, and I told her I said you probably need like TPC professional help is what I told her. And then because you gotta get some of this checked out literally, because it's like because technically what that trauma you came in with that it was unknowingly masked pretty good because I didn't see it at first. Now that I see it, then that's something that needs to be fixed, with you, because you can't bring that trauma that you have from then onto me. And it's not like you ever did, but it's apparently noticeable.
Hmm.
You've had two incidents now that I've let slide, and I'm like, this is when after I did my two strikes rule, I'm done. You did that twice, and now I have to take measures because it's funny when it's the other way around when girls say like you messed up twice or whatever multiple times, so they're gonna X you. It's on the other foot now. But
Yeah.
the thing is, for me, I'm like I think about my health, I think about my mindset, and I have to think about the atmosphere I put myself in. And with you having the atmosphere that you have, it's not conducive to us to be in a relationship right now. It's actually detrimental, and I can't be responsible for a past trauma that I didn't cause. And you're placing it
Right.
on me. So I had to let her go as a result of that. And now I've talked to her recently, and like now this is what the phone said on one of his comments. You're not in contact with her, having sex with her. I'm not having sex with her at all, bro. I'm just talking with her as a result. Like, if anything, she'll really hits me up to talk to her for conversation. And the only thing I will ever talk to her is that she is getting help and and she's actually doing the work. That's all that is. Other than that, there'll never be another relationship pursuing with her at all. The most
But
it
do you
would
feel
be is
like you're
probably
pouring
she.
into a bottomless pot? Like it's very mind draining to give real thoughtful information and real like mind provoking solutions to somebody who's completely not hearing it or even trying to put it into practice. And I find that if you're doing that as a man, you're in a way kind of holding that woman back because she's not trying to hear you. She just wants to vent. And if that's the
Right.
case, you need to let her vent to somebody else because you're being a placeholder for a real therapist. And that's the thing that a lot of
Yes.
women really will speak at men and not speak with men, or they speak to men, but they're not really wanting to speak for a solution to do better. They're actually just speaking because they just want to be heard. And that's not your role as a man to do, whether it's a boyfriend or even a friend, because I see that
Right.
you're a bit of an empath and that you are probably listening to what this like women or men are saying, and you're trying, well, maybe here's a solution to it. And when you find that
Right.
that's not being heard, it annoys you, as it should. I feel like when you're that kind of a person, when you're actually giving, like, because it takes time, it takes energy to really hear people's shit. And then when you hear all their shit and you're like, okay, well, maybe this is a solution, and they completely disavow it, you're like, wait a minute, I just listened to you vent about a whole bunch of shit for like 10 minutes, and here's my input, and you don't want it. So what are you speaking to me for? If that's the case,
there's a vending problems.
no.
Yeah. Yeah. I get what you mean.
Or put a jar out for tips. One of the two. What? I told it to my friends all the time. Like if you're gonna be venting, I'm putting I'm a bartender. Like if I'm just gonna be listening to you and you don't want any advice, then shit. That's what I get paid for. How dare you smoke my weed and talk about stress? I brought you over to play Mario Kart and Tekken Tag, and you trying to talk to me about your ex-girlfriend? No, here's my tip jar. If you're gonna make me listen to this shit, pay me.
I actually agree. I mean, that's that Kevin Samuels logic, which I do agree with. And it's like, if I'm going to do that, I'll listen. Because I've said this multiple times, and that's why I don't think this anymore, based on what you just said for me. And I've been talking to her since, let me see, how many months has it been? Like 3 months. So I kind of just ended it there because I said I'm gonna let the professionals do the freaking thing to do in order for her to get better. And I did come to that conclusion just off of one last interaction off of her, and I'm like, okay. Sweetheart, you need to be telling to me about this. This is something you talk about with them specifically. Well, like I said, whether I'm a friend or not, this ain't my place. Professional guidance, therapists, and licensed therapists like Jordan Peterson are people to talk to for this shit. Not me specifically.
You said therapist like plural. You was like you need a team. You need a team of therapists.
Yeah, bro.
You need a whole Avengers team of therapists.
Yeah, you actually do probably for that, but I will say this. But I appreciate every brother sharing their knowledge on here. I'm gonna end it on the positive last interaction I had. So basically, this was when I was in Florida, guys, and yes, this was with a Latino woman more often than not. So basically, I hadn't gone to Starbucks in like freaking forever, dude, because I don't like Starbucks and their fucking hot ass coffee, because it tastes more like hot water than it does the actual freaking the freaking thing is supposed to taste like.
Sponsorship for your channel. Damn.
I know. Hey, listen. I don't care. They can sue me. But they can't really sue me, really, because I'm not having their stuff. But hey, listen. Starbucks, listen. Your coffee tastes like hot water, and your hot chocolate. I can be sure of that. No matter which one I went to, why is it? I taste more hot water than I do the freaking chocolate. Please explain that to me. Even if the flavor of chocolate is bitter, but even then, that aside, I met this girl who was
a whole live stream about Starbucks and how much you hate it. I'm here for that smoke.
Really? Hey man, it might be a okay. How about this? I'll do a 5-minute rant. I can do a 5-minute rant on them. I can do that. I don't know if I can do it for 20 minutes. That's just kind of wild.
How Starbucks is ruining the modern woman.
Yo, screw that. How is Starbucks ruining the modern man's tongue? Yo, man, it was so hot to burn my tongue off almost one time. I'm like, damn, I need some water. But no, but all in all, like, so I met this girl. She was a college student, and she was in graphic design. And similar to you, she does art, and she was a freaking artist. She actually drew a paper. So I actually had like a brief interaction with her for maybe like 15 minutes. She kind of noticed a little bit of my artwork that I was carrying with me, because I was actually going to I had my sketchbook with me. I was going to go actually draw in the park later on, because I decided one of those times I need to get outside the freaking I need to get outside. I need to get motivated again and do some sketching. So I met her through there, and we conversated a little bit, and then something led to a number. Then I got her number, and she wanted to talk to me again. So it was 3 weeks of chatting, hanging out, and then later on took me back to her place, and I got to smash. Dead ass.
I honestly think artist women are probably your speed, because artist women understand the need for me time, And I find that when you're with an artist chick, like they give you your space more than most modern women. And they don't bombard you with a whole lot of thought because they put that trauma into their art. So they don't make you as the man ingest it so much. All you got to do is just be like, hey, your art looks amazing. And like they can kind of keep it moving. But if you're still talking to this chick, I think this is actually a woman that you should definitely, women are truly a man's muse. And with you being an artist, like if you need to kind of get out of a funk, I find that women are the best thing to kind of get you out of that funk because it's like they give you life and they give you energy to be the man that you want to become and also remind you of the man that you used to be. So a woman just kind of noticing you and your art skills is like, that's going to motivate you to get more on your shit. And if she's cute, if she's like a positive person, I say, yo, explore that and let it be what it is. Let the chemistry flow. And if the energy turns red, then hey, it's no hard feelings. Let's let her go. But I think it's a lot of times wasted chemistry to not pursue a woman like that. So I would thoroughly suggest that you take a little bit serious, like the fact that she came across your path and can possibly be a great muse for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, he says he's in the background. I'm sorry, Marcus. We were in the conversation right about that, bro. But yeah, I'm still in contact with her. We still chat, and
Okay.
I'm thinking about taking a I don't know when I'll have a week off, but I'm thinking about taking a week up there to go actually see her again. So just because
are you guys in different states?
Yeah, we're different states. Because I was in Florida over there in Tampa, and she's still in Tampa too. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not that far.
Nah, it's like a 7-hour drive, and because I drove from there all the way there. Like, to me, it's not long.
Yeah.
As long as it ain't 15 hours, we all right.
I was gonna say, ask her if she can fly you out. When girls get flown out all the time, ask her if she can fly you out.
Yo, it's everybody here. I want to address a comment by my man Stolen Chakra, and that's actually my friend I talk to on the phone a lot.
Yeah, I was wondering. That's a dope name. I was like, if they have a channel, I'm already about to look and subscribe because I'm like, I love that name.
Yeah, man. Trust me, he's a big Detective Conan fan. He's a huge anime fan too, like I am. But yeah, he says some people are better at dealing with baggage. If their baggage brings you down and makes you worse, you leave. Facts. Thank you, brother. I think everybody on the panel agrees with that. Because we don't want to be in a
or get tipped. Like I said, I've been a career bartender, so like when they bring me that baggage, I'm really good at transferring it to like humor and like good points. So yeah. Like I say, I think it's really important for everyone to spend some time bartending, and you really kind of learn. You learn so much how to respond to people and how to take their shit and then kind of give it back to them in a humorous way. And once you can do that for women, I'm telling you, everything else is so easy afterwards. It really is.
I mean, I was gonna say I've been bar hopping. I haven't been bartending, but hey, I'll try it. I'll try that bar backing. Could bar backing be the same thing?
No, not really, because you're just
it's called being a bar back, right?
But what you can do is if you have the pandemic, right? But when you have like house parties. You have people bring one person brings a certain liquor and then you get the fruit and juices. And then you just I just want to practice making these drinks. And then as you're making drinks, you're not really rushed because they're friends of yours. I always say it's a better what they're doing than actually going to bartending school and spending all the money. Is actually just have your friends and kind of bartend for them. And then they'll let you know oh man, this is a little bit too strong. Or the women like that's a way better hands-on experience of how to become a bartender rather than going to a bartending school and sitting in front of a class, because most real bartenders never did that shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I have 2 books on I think they're called the toxicology books on drinks. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, that's the one.
I have one that's a small orange one, but it has a vast majority of different types of drinks, like gin and tonic, rum and coke, and they're very simple. Some are vodka, Red Bull. I drink those kind of stuff. Especially with a line of cocaine or something, maybe. Just kidding. But
sir, only with the stripper, sir. You only do the powder off the stripper.
Okay. There you go.
That's what Jesus said. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you know how to make people laugh, my man.
Yeah. No, because like everyone tell me like, what do you drink, Marcus? I was like, I don't drink that much, but when I do, I know I sound like the commercial, but I drink a vodka Red Bull or like a rum and Dr. Pepper. Every now and then I'm really feeling like my Russian side or something, a vodka soda, like a gin and tonic. And then with beers, I'm more of a Stella. I like Stellas and obviously like the Corona from time to time, not too much. Only because for some reason Mexican beers, they really hit you in the stomach bad. Like sometimes the Mexican beers hit you more than the domestic beers themselves. That's my experience.
Okay.
The Pacifico is good too. Some people like Pacifico.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I guess. Listen, we're gonna get an after hours very soon. After we answer this question, I guess this is a free for all because this is gonna lead us right in after hours anyway. All right, guys. So what do you as men all prefer? It won't be stereotypical, but screw it. Do you prefer a woman with a little bit of aggression, or do you prefer like a woman who's a little bit more pleasant and shy? You guys go first. I'm going last.
What the funk? You take it. You take it first. Take it.
Okay.
No decisions today.
In my early 20s, I definitely liked the women who were a little bit more aggressive and not passive. But that was because I was pretty much traveling anyway, so I didn't really care. But as I'm older now, good Lord, please give me a woman that's creative and passive and like knows who she is. Like the idea of the dramatic love, I'm so good on it. I mean, once you have children, you start to really see like that kind of environment and that kind of behavior. I don't want my children to pick it up. So they're going to have so many other outlets that are trying to put that on them anyway. So I want them to see a woman who's completely able to be in her emotions without being so emotional. A woman that can, take her, problems and transfer it to something positive. And like that whole loud, loving housewife, all that type stuff, I'm so over it. And it's kind of a problem because I know for Black men, we're kind of programmed to love that kind of energy. And it's part of the programming that's put on us. But in actuality, that's beyond toxic. We're supposed to like be a real man and handle a woman like that. And she says all these disrespectful things, and then you make love to her, make her suck her thumb, and she shuts up. Like, that's idiotic.
Take me as I am. Girl power.
Yeah. It's really become like the things that we had to deal with in the 90s are now things that most races are dealing with in the modern women. But they did it to us first. So, that whole over-aggression thing that some men say is sexy and some women have been told is sexy is actually beyond toxic. And once you see and understand the programming, you don't want any parts of it.
Yeah. Okay. This is my turn. Would you like me to go, Jay?
Yep, your turn.
All right, because we're not doing. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I guess got to piggyback kind of what the funk was saying, because at my young age, I think a lot of guys' young ages. I don't know. For me, I think it was that whole like those erotic scenes you see in like the adult content. Like P stars. You see the aggressiveness that those women have, or those weird foreplays or role playing. Like the girl comes in all aggressive and she's like, "Come here, papi. I want you to give me the salsicha. Give me your sausage," like type stuff, and like grab you by.
What did you watch?
I'm telling you, man.
Like Telemundo porn? Like what? Sounds.
Hell yeah, I like my Spanish. I love my Spanish stuff. I love it. Shout out to my Latin.
Soap opera.
Oh yeah, Decisiones. Watch Decisiones.
Yes.
Decisions. Believe me. Oh.
Yo, I actually watched one of those when I was young, like a whole Spanish soap opera, like loved one. I don't know how, but I was able to watch in Spanish.
Yeah, especially bang, 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 but anyways, back to the topic. But yeah, for me, it was young, like what the funk said, the aggressive ones. I lost my virginity when I was 18 to a 35-year-old, and she took me behind her Suburban in the back, and I wasn't right since. But yeah, and yeah, like man, I met her at the gym. I always had like a
soccer mom, bruh.
Yeah, I didn't. She told me she was younger, but then I found out through her ID and CSI, she was actually a little bit older. She's like 36, 37, but I lost my virginity to her. I always had a thing for MILFs and cougars at a young age. But then once I got older, I was like, maybe I should look at girls more in my age group. And then, I started experiencing women from different ages. Like, I think the max for me was 40. The lowest for me was like 20. I had a couple dozen women I was with here and there. I think one of the better relationships was a Colombian woman I was with before I met the toxic one. It was, man, she had that midnight jungle fever, jumping in the bushes, in the jungle, the mighty python, sleeps tonight type stuff. We were shaking the bushes in the back, and man, like she was like 30, 31. I was like 20. Like, this is before the toxic one, but we had like a small, like 3 or 4 month period together. And man, like on the day that I was breaking up with her, she wanted to do it again. Like, hey, I can convince you to stay. I was like, no, you cannot. And man, like, yeah, man, when I was out there, I was like Blade. I was slaying them vampires, I was slaying vampires like Blade. But Wesley Snipes, CSI. But yep.
He said I was slaying them like
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes would be proud.
They called me, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I'm Bucky the Chick Slayer. Bucky the Chick Slayer. Ian, what the fuck knows what I'm talking about?
You know, I got water in my mouth, man. I'm trying to spit this shit out. Oh God.
Fucking first 48. First 48.
First rodeo. Shoot. All right, I guess I'm going last, y'all. So basically, what I prefer, I think, I've had lots of interactions from from a passive girl, like what the Fungus said, to an aggressive girl before, and it does get tired having to put a girl in a place because I personally hate having to do that because it's like I'm talking to a child, and I ain't got no daughters. I'm not gonna be treating a woman like she's my daughter. They try to get you in a place to like behave. And that's exactly what it's like, and I'm not doing that shit. So hell no to that. That's never happening. Two, what I just prefer overall, like, if I'm looking for like just what's good for my health and mentally and physically, like I would take more so of a passive girl than I would a freaking aggressive woman because hence I guess what the fuck we can get into it on the after hours, but because we're segueing. I think the reason why I love Asian girls so much because of my one experience with one specifically, and just like I said, the atmosphere that she brought to me, the peace that she brought to me, was just something I was never used to. Like she actually like, I like when girls actually act like girls and I act like dudes, because that's why I said I don't date a girl who acts like a boy or a tomboy, because I want to date a fucking boy. What the hell? I've said this before. I'm not doing that. Date a girl because I like girls and just them basking in what they, in their femininity and just that little soft, gentle nature that they have. It actually takes you aback and it can entice you and pull you in, and it can be a soothing thing for the mind and just for your health in general. So you want to surround your kids with that, with showing that the interaction between you and your wife of why two love each other, and showing them a healthy environment. And a passive girl can really do that for you. I'm not saying aggressive woman can, but the difference is if she goes off, like, listen, I you like a time bomb. I can't tell when you're gonna go off, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. I can make it because this should be a warning. You is not gonna go in front of these kids. You're not gonna be arguing and doing all this bullshit. I hate to do it. I hate to have to tell somebody all that shit because like I said, it's like I'm babysitting. I'm taking care. Yeah, I'm taking care of the kids, but I guess I got another kid to look after, and that's you, the big baby.
And an emotional woman, it always puts you in the path of you making a mistake. Because if you're with an emotional woman and you make the mistake, then all of a sudden your whole life is ruined. And I don't think a lot of women understand that when they're emotional, that situation is a ticking time bomb. And I think it's more important for the woman to understand not to be emotional and end up triggering that man. Because if he makes a mistake, then everything he's worked for is completely ruined.
Yes.
So yeah, when a woman does, I say it's the same as a man hitting you. Like when a woman's being verbally abusive, I'm like, yo, like you can go. It's so we don't have to have that kind of energy because you cannot argue back and forth with a woman. You just can't. You will always lose it, and you don't want to match energies. So if a woman's really
Right.
like that's her base nature, da, 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 that is putting you in a situation where your life can be ruined, and you need to take that seriously because you have things to
Yes.
do, and you also may have kids. You being attracted to that, that's putting your whole life in jeopardy, and you have to just completely remove yourself from that situation. Just for some sex, just because she gives you good feelings, that's not a woman
Wow.
being amused. That's a woman being a succubus.
How y'all doing?
Thank you. How
What's
you
up?
doing,
What's up?
Jedi?
Oh,
Thank you
let me
so
get in
much for
Sith
joining,
mode.
brother.
We about to
Sith.
Shit. God.
Yo,
CSI Crown 48.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys. We're in after hours now. We can work out and talk about whatever now. But Jedi,
cool.
I want to ask you a question, brother. So I think. Hold on, wait. You're in a current relationship, are you not?
Who you asking?
No, no. You. Are you? You're
Oh
in a
yeah, I
current
am.
relationship right now, are you not? Okay.
Yes,
How would you describe your woman? Would she be aggressive or would she be like passively gentle? If you had to
very
put it
gentle.
in simpler terms.
She's not aggressive at all. Only
This man is
no.
stuttering.
Jesus. I was gonna say Jedi Mike's married to the game.
Yeah, I know. I'm not married yet. Yeah, I'm not married yet. I can't. No, no. Like we gotta get some things in order though. But yeah, it's a courting relationship,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's yeah, no, she's not like most girls. Or if anything, like think of it in terms of that black girl that's like she's slightly nerdy when you talk to her. She might seem reserved, but then once you talk to her, she's like very expressive and stuff. But at the same time, she's like um she's very I won't say uh I don't want to say motherly. It's just almost like she always helps a lot of people around her. Like she serves a lot of people, and stuff. So, um, yeah, and but yeah, and she's like, because I'll tell you this, like, when we kind of get like competitive, like with games and stuff like that, you see another side of her. I like that. So, but other than that, like aggressive, like I think you mentioned this when I got here, talking about you don't like you can say you don't like masculine women. Like, listen, I cannot stand. Let me tell you this. I cannot stand a woman like, and listen, I've been on many conversations about this, but like, especially getting a heated conversation with a girl. Let's say she cuss you out, whatever, and then she say, "Suck my." I was like, "Wait, hold up." You know
Oh,
that
hold on.
yo, how you
Mm.
doing, bro? No, no, no. I just that
Yeah.
just
When women start disrespecting, it's because they've lost respect for you and they don't have really respect for themselves because they want to take them to that level. I think it's just
Mhm.
that's my opinion of how I look at things. When
yeah, yeah. Especially like certain. Like, I know we can we can cuss them sometimes, whatever. But it's just like there's a certain line where it's like you know, like I'm like, yo, we talking like acting like a dude. I just like, and I can't really say it. You gotta see it. Like we all know it. I mean, I don't have to say it. Like you know, and they can try to you gonna try to put your hands on me, like you gonna try to fight. No, sit down. Take a couple of
I
seats.
do want to ask you, as one of the younger, because you're a gamer, what is the? Because I know what games I played with women in my past. I usually always played retro games, and women loved it. And I also have Mario Kart Hack, which has on the original Wii, so it has like 280 levels, and women go nuts over this game. It's like one of the best couples games you can play.
Uh-huh.
But what is the game that you play with your lady that kind of like gives you guys like a good vibe?
Well, here's the thing. She got me Animal Crossing. I hate it.
Animal
But
Crossing? Okay.
yeah, I hate it though. But it was like, hey, got me in that. I mean, yeah, she's been more like in Nintendo games. Like she's heavily in Smash.
Okay.
Um,
So you play Smash on what, the Switch with her?
well, I know 64. We have the old console. We played original, like just Brawl.
Yeah.
And then we got the Switch as well. So, we would go back and forth sometimes, or whatever. Because Brawl was like a different, like it's just more for nostalgia. Like you just go back sometimes for that. But yeah, Switch for me, yeah.
Okay. You should
She's
definitely look up the Mugen versions of Mario Kart and also on the Smash. You can get like a hack of
Yeah,
it, which
no, I
has
know. She's heavily.
insane
No,
amount of characters on it.
yeah, no, she's heavily into that right now. So it's like, um, and I'll say like, she has her main, a few mains and stuff like that. Um, uh, wait, hold on 1 second. Sorry, someone texting me. I'm like, yo, stop calling me. But anyway,
Don't call my phone no more.
You
Hey,
don't
he's
need
used
to talk
to getting you in
anymore.
trouble.
no.
Yo, remember Meet the Blacks? Stop calling my phone no more. Those kids smell like urine.
No, bro.
No, but yeah, that's what video games you go. But I really don't play games anymore, man. I've just been really just busy. Like I haven't played games like almost since like I don't want to say like 7 months ago. Like maybe one like time to time when we were bored, but like I just can't like because I tell you for me, the time I was in it was like I'm like was in Rainbow Six Siege. And that was I was like in tournaments for that, right? And uh then I think it was like on Star Wars Battlefront. The first one, I know the game was trash, but like I played the shit out of that.
You sound like my cousin.
What?
You sound like my cousin. I always have to tell him like those are great games for like when you're alone, but like it's really hard to translate those games to women. Like women, like especially like even shooting games. Like when women see men.
No, but she's in Rainbow too. She's in Rainbow
She's
too.
in the Rainbow too. Wait, so
Yeah.
you have a chick that she plays shooting games too?
Yeah, no, she play. I got her. I got her in like she's on the PC for a little bit and stuff. But yeah, like she plays a few of the operators on Twitch,
Okay.
Rare, and then stuff like that. I was like, okay. I'm like, but and like I said,
I don't
it's
know.
weird.
She gave you Animal Crossing. I think she's low key mad at you. Like maybe she doesn't really like the game.
No, I think it's more. I think it's more for a
punishment.
trend. Like that folks after when pandemic hit, everyone's like, oh, I'm on Animal Crossing. I was like, oh, what's the but listen, I am so sick and tired of this whole black girl nerd stereotype that thinking that they don't freaking exist. Like, I've been on panels with folks saying like, hey, if you're watching anime
They out
all day,
here.
I'm not with you. I was like, you don't know how many black girls in anime? Like, fuck out of here.
Well, people in general. How many people in anime
And
are?
Jedi, Mike,
That's
Taylor
your
said that. I
generation.
remember Taylor saying that too.
Yeah,
my
I was like,
generation-
what the hell are you talking about?
Let's not get it
Like,
twisted. When I was anime, Sisters was not claiming anime back in like early 2000s and 90s. Like that's your generation because like
no, but that's a stigma.
sisters are
That's a
more,
stigma though, because there wasn't really much anything up there other than like what you can say a few things in terms in the late '90s. But even then, like because she's the one that got me more. She like in animated than me, right? Because like because like she's not like socially awkward.
She animated you.
She animated me.
Yeah.
I was like, that's why I was like, when I talked to Kayla, I'm like, girl, what are you talking about?
You wildin'.
And I'm saying,
Yeah, I was gonna.
Taylor's wildin'.
I was gonna say,
these are
Jedi.
girls that you
Would
don't
you
see
say
like
she had an ugly duckling syndrome? Like when she was younger, was she kind of the outcast of the sister group, and that's why? And then like she turned into a beautiful woman after the fact.
I mean, I think that what happens to all of us, right? If not, I'm not. I don't know.
No. Some women
Bro,
are put
there
on a
are
pedestal at an
some-
early age, and some women are kind of ostracized from the sisterhood group at an early age, and those women turn out to end up being the best. The women who kind of were not allowed to be the popular girl, the women that were kind of like not low key rejected, but just a little bit awkward. Then in
Anton
life,
said this like
later
I'll
on,
take
they
the
turn
quiet
adults
girl.
that are way
Like
better.
I'll take the right. Anton said I mean, I'll take the like the quiet girl, whatever. Like, and it's like really only dudes like you can discern in terms of how girls are. But like with her, you would not even look at her. It's like, oh, I didn't know you were into all this stuff, right? And especially like to me, I'm gonna tell you, this is my kryptonite as a man, right? And I'll say this like, and I'll say this is weird too. Like I'm also an Asian girls too. Like I don't know why with Squid Games, but like what was her name? Number it was 614? You know
What
what I'm
is up
talking
with you in
about?
Squid Games? What is up with you in
Damn
Squid
shame
Games?
you don't know this actress' names. You just remember the number.
It was she's the model. She's walking on the runways with Kendall Jenner.
What the fuck?
Right. And I was just like, what's her name?
The
Juan- I
Watts,
can't
my
pronounce-
brother. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Females are getting into games for YouTubers like we need a sister to reach the level of them to show. Yes, exactly. On site.
Thank you,
Right.
Stolen. Like I said, my brother. Yeah, thank you
But
for
my,
doing that.
my thing is like there are so many
That's
women
just
now
going
that are
chocolate.
female gamers. And I don't have a problem with female gamers. I love it. I can't stand when girls think they're cocky and they think they can play Call of Duty and they're good. But then the moment they start playing against Team
They're not
Deathmatch, they
good.
get wrecked, like 110 kills.
Exactly. They're not good at all. Even like some of these I'm not even gonna like throw shade at female YouTubers or anything, but like
Well, the
let's be real.
community's garbage, though. Like, think about it. It's like
Yeah.
you go on these parties and they talk like they know they didn't know me teasing them, all this like shit like that. It's like, yeah, I mean, I don't blame them
Stop.
and saying you in these environments that, like, yeah, but that's what certain games like Rainbow. I mean, Rainbow to me was like, I felt like that's kind of like a middle ground from Call of Duty and all this other stuff. Um, but yeah, because for me, I could never get on Call of Duty. I think with me with Modern Warfare, and I was out. But
Same here.
like.
Same here.
I was out because all this stuff, like when we start going to space and shit and jumping off of walls, like what the fuck we doing? Like tell me,
Who's
like
coming in
what
here
we
for
doing?
reading Rainbow quote? Like, I love it though. It's just
Oh yeah,
Bro,
it's
yeah,
because
Okay,
bro.
where's that
it's a
coming
joke.
from? Someone explain that to me. Reading Rainbow. What?
It was a
Okay.
kid show back in PBS, and the host was the guy from
It was
Star
a
Trek,
kid
the
show
one that
back
had
you
like
don't know what reading Rainbow is, Jedi?
I'm
Jedi
having
Mike's living
amnesia.
under a rock.
No.
No.
Jedi's 23. So cut him a little bit of slack. I don't know if he remembers that.
Reading Rainbow.
Oh hell no, I
Or
don't
if
pull
he
my
even
punches.
What you calling me? I'm reading Rainbow. Or something? That's okay. It's a dude from Star Trek, the blonde.
Brooklyn
Yeah, okay.
Notorious said that wasn't me. So
I called you.
know.
I called you reading Rainbow on the other stream when you were there, and 100 Watts. He kept going in on, and I was like, okay, next time we see
Watts,
Jedi
my
Mike,
boy.
tell him to come up if he can.
Yeah, Watts, if you want to
Okay.
come on, brother. We can talk about it.
So if you're a Game of Thrones fan, your lady, what character does she remind you the most from Game of Thrones?
Oh shit, that's sad. Because you got beheaded.
I was like, that's sad.
Yeah, I
Wait.
know instantly who it
Wait,
is.
Jedi, wait. Who got beheaded? Which one?
The Daenerys' servant, a right hand girl.
Yeah, that's bad. That's
Oh,
bad.
that's
That's bad.
Sunday. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, are you talking about the book or the show? Because in the book, she got done dirty in the book.
No, in the show. It was a show, but like
Okay.
yeah, but no, it was like that. That's what she reminds me of. Like if you think like if they had a happy ending, that's how she acted. Everything great.
I have not watched a single episode of Game of Thrones yet at all. Like not even one.
So this is what happened. You just had to binge watch because like in college they give us the free HBO subscriptions before we had HBO Max and all that stuff. But so I was binging that because I was on the series season 5. Right, so I wasn't on season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4, all that stuff. I passed the Red Wedding, all that mess. I'm like, when I see my friends like,
Oh, you missed
yo,
all the
man,
good stuff,
Joffrey,
man.
who the fuck is Joffrey? Right, I didn't know. So
They should have changed. They should have kept Joffrey alive. Like real talk, Joffrey.
Why?
Because when Joffrey died, I think they had a chance to really make the show amazing because the book he died, but I think in the show if they had kept him alive and let him build to be an actual villain, it would have made the show turn out insanely much better.
Yeah, because I was in.
back on that. Listen, regardless of any of the mistakes you can say, it really goes back to the finale. Like I can rewrite the finale for you 10 times better. I mean anybody can, but it's the thing about it is that that the finale had a lot of behind the scenes play with it. It's almost like they acted like they were in the pandemic before the pandemic happened, where all the shows on CW had to rush their storylines and cut them halfway. It's like, we got to rush it and shit and blah blah. So what happened was D&D they would sign on to do a Star Wars movie, right? But then all of a sudden it got canceled and got left off the project after the finale happened. So that's why they were rushing to finish the series because they had to get ready to start Star Wars, but it didn't go in their the odds were not in their favor, right? But what happened with the finale with certain decisions they make, they should have flipped the whole series from man versus man and then ended with man versus nature. See, listen, the whole thing about who was going to be on the throne and stuff, that should have been the focal point of the beginning half of the season. But in the second season, or the second half of the season, when we get to the to the Night King, the whole point of it is saying, hey, listen, this whole Game of Thrones thing is bullshit because we're all gonna die. Then right? So this whole thing is saying like whoever sits in that throne like burn it down because then the Night King is coming, which they completely disgraced that when they at the end of season 5 when it started snowing at King's Landing. It didn't snow at all, right? Until after they after Daenerys claimed this the kingdom and after the Night King is dead. So why it fucking snowing, right? It's bullshit.
I was gonna say because a lot of people had negative things to say about the
Jedi, I just
last
got a message
season.
from somebody, and I have to let you know this. It says, "I see you're on with Jedi Mike. That dude's a trip. Tell him to stop picking on Kay, the original Bay." So I'm just gonna let you know.
Who said that?
It's not, they said for you to stop picking on Kay. So I'm just relaying the message.
Give me the close up. Give me the close up, please.
Oh god.
Close up.
Give him a close up, Jay.
Oh wait, Phil the IT Jedi. Shout out fellow world travelers stopping by to show support and hit that new sub button. Thanks, brother. I'm thinking that was no offense to you, bro. I thought you were about to be a troll and like defend K or something. I didn't know who that was. The minute he read that, I saw this new comment pop up. I'm like, oh, I hope that's not him.
No, that's not him.
Okay.
It was somebody else.
Cam up Jedi. Cam up
I did
Jedi.
not want
Center.
the Peef anywhere near my freaking network. Screw that.
Give me close up.
You like what? You like K? Blocked. Is that how you do it? Is that how you do it?
Jay, you know how to give me a close up?
Give him a close up, Jay.
Yo,
he wants a close.
Okay, hold on.
Jedi wants a close up.
How do I? Hold on. How do I give you the close up? Hold on, bro.
Click on my screen. Click on my screen.
All right.
On the side.
So layout.
Yeah,
I see it. So layout. All right, go ahead, bro.
CSI, first 48, Law and Order. Dun 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 dun.
Law and Order, bro.
Dun dun. Let's all go to court. Yeah. Go to court. We're all a bunch of assholes. Take up a fucking hallway. Come on, hire us when we're high.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let you know something. What you see, on camera, whatever, is one thing. We have these conversations. We can get heated or we can get passionate about it. But let me tell you something about Jedi Mike. And I think everybody on this panel can vouch for it. I'm like Chick-fil-A. You know Chick-fil-A, right? When you come to me, I give you chicken. There's no beef. Right? And I'm open on Sundays. Don't call me. What I mean by that means that, I'm a good person and I don't do any drama and that like that. So, but also I'm telling you about Kay. Kay, she's a good friend of mine. And we have a relationship, a friendship. You don't know what we talk behind the scenes. So when we see some stuff up here, like those comments that you just made, I laugh. I'm saying, Kay, I love you, Kay. She knows that. In that situation, what happened on that stream Monday, whatever, water under the bridge. What was said had to be said. And as a man, you can walk away or you can bitch about it and be a child. I like to choose the other one. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm done. Now back to program.
Transition.
Now back to program.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, long story short, yeah, me and Kay are good.
You said it was
Really
last Friday's stream. Last Friday's stream.
No, it was Monday. So you go on my channel. There was a situation that happened Monday. It was like a Kay and Kayla show they had where I would basically come in defense of one of my co-hosts on another show I do on the Peep Network, called like the Broken Dusty Show, right? And basically my friend Cam, these two women would come at her, whatever. They weren't attacking her, whatever you say what attacking means. And basically, she says, I'm a servant. I love to serve. And I'm a people pleaser. I love, helping people. And she's like, oh, well, so reciprocity is not a thing for you, blah, 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 whatever. And yeah, I'm just letting you know. So are you being manipulative? X, Y, and Z asked her a bunch of questions. And as her friend, I got really frustrated because this is not what especially black women should be doing to each other. And here's a woman who's not feeding to the stereotype that society tries to perpetuate you that, unfortunately, that a lot of us in our community, we feed into every single day on Love and Hip Hop, Basketball Wives, etc. Right? Because I know black women can be different. Hence the one I defended. right? So I have these women try to go against that. I was like, this is bullshit. Now she need my protection. She didn't need to, but I'm saying men, we protect femininity. This it is. So, but I also say that I apologize because I didn't like the way I conducted myself in that heated argument, right? Now, and this also reminded me that in situations like this, that hey, I didn't have to apologize, but I can just stay on my stance firm, and I don't have to say things once and don't have to repeat myself. Anyway,
Point blank. Period.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that, Jedi. Like I said, I was
Wait, what are you
actually
talking
a
about? What the
huge
fuck?
defender.
Let me have hands on my hips.
When you were going,
Oh,
you had your
shit.
hand on your hip, like you were kind of going
what?
off a bit with your hand on your hip. Just going off with your hand on your hip. It's okay
What
though.
do you mean? I was doing this?
No. You had your hand on this arm. Sorry, this arm. You had it on your hip when you was kind of going into your. Yeah, you was going away.
Why?
Keep cooking.
When was this? When on the Monday that stream?
Right now,
No,
earlier.
just now.
What was I doing?
Just now.
Just like 30, 40 seconds ago. You had your hand on your hip, and that's how you know somebody's really in they bag.
Oh, this?
Right there. Right there. That's it right there.
Shit, he caught you.
We two Jedi.
Exposed.
Listen, y'all, I
Where's
gotta
Ashton
say
Kutcher at? Punked.
like, hold on,
pull
let
out
me
a
get
whole lightsaber on you. You don't want this smoke.
Oh, shit.
Oh shit!
He got the yellow crystal.
You got the Temple Guard's lightsaber, the yellow one. Yeah, I know my
Yellow
lore, ladies
one,
and gentlemen.
Sentinel.
He said,
Sentinel, yeah.
Look here. What we not gonna do is
Listen. Court system, right? Why are you sleeping with these men?
What the fuck? What's going on?
Listen,
he's doing the lead attorney right now.
guys. Listen,
Oh,
listen. I've been a
Yo, if lead
divorce
attorney
attorney
saw
for over
that,
20
that'd be
years.
crazy.
Right, I've been
Gotcha.
a divorce attorney for over 20 years, and I'm also a guardian lion, which is one of the highest certifications you can get in the state of Georgia. There's nobody, and I mean nobody, that can be more knowledgeable about this subject than me. Oh, by the way, shout out to Phil to IT Jedi in the chat. Y'all have been helping out your boys since day one. And shout out to Black
He gave me a
Notorious,
50
man.
cent super chat for a 50 cent super chat.
Super chat. Yeah,
like,
shout out to Black
bruh.
Notorious.
Oh,
He
he
gave me
gave
a
you that?
$30 super chat. Who's now the
He
sponsor
did?
of today's episode. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. Always helping out your boy. Hey, Jada Kasha, you got a YouTube channel? Hey, moderators, you put his link in the back, and people can find him there. Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna
Anybody
get to my
can
monologue.
cam up.
What?
Yeah.
I'm saying for anybody that's out there that wants to come up on the panel, click the StreamYard link.
Yeah. It's on the very top.
But
of
go
the
for it.
guide.
Go for it, Jedi Mike.
No, but long story short though, but like listen, as I'm moving up though, and I'm gonna be doing another stream like this Saturday or something like that, because other news just came out today. Like my movie news show. They CW, they're announcing a so Dave Ramsey is gonna be the head of the show, and it's called Justice U, and it's a new show on CW, and we don't know what it is, but it seemed like it's like a Justice League type show, but it's led by Dave Ramsey, who plays Diggle or Green Lantern or John Stewart, but not John Stewart, but whatever. So and Jay King messaged me this, and I told him we'll talk about this Saturday, and it sounds like you're mad. I'm like, we'll talk about this Saturday, and the writers
I'll
from
join
Superman,
you.
right? The writers on Superman and Lois, they're gonna be headline, be the showrunners of the show. And I was like, okay, I might have my interest, but at the same time, I'm done with this shit. I'm like, but anyway,
Are you more of a fan of Star Wars or more of a fan of like DC and Marvel?
That's I can't answer that question. Because the thing was like with DC, I can say like I enjoy good content. How about that? So when Star Wars be on their bullshit, I call them out. When DC's on their bullshit, I call them out. When Marvel is on their bullshit, unfortunately, sorry, the Internals, it was all right, but I mean, they could have done better with certain things. What they're doing with the pacing of the film.
Yeah, I will actually touch up on Eternals, but I actually did a show review. I actually enjoyed it for what it was. There were some things that were lacking, and I did call that out. A little bit of pacing and all that. Okay, I want to say this. Because everybody needs to hear this. I actually gave Marvel credit because I didn't expect to see that in a freaking film. Two characters literally having sex, but they don't really see it. You just see them lay on top of each other. That was bold, even for
Wait, say that
Marvel.
again.
What movie was this?
Yo, so you remember the Cersei Icarus scene
Yeah, the
when
sex
they were
scene.
laying on top of each other? Yeah, technically, quote
Oh, I didn't even
unquote, a
watch
sex
Eternals.
scene, but yeah,
I just
yeah,
watched it
yeah.
today for the
That's.
first time today. I literally just watched it earlier, like around when I was
Oh,
off
Oh, you
yeah,
today. I
did?
was
You
what'd you
didn't
like,
think?
even tell me. What you think,
no,
bro?
no. Well, I actually thought it was pretty good. I was going off of what Rotten Tomatoes and the audience score was, which is like a 75, 78%, 70%, 60% Rotten scores. I thought it was actually pretty good. I was actually more surprised. The story, and it's like a 2.5 hour long movie. So it's you do have to be sitting down and paying attention. But
Right.
I liked it.
I
I
liked it
liked it.
too. I liked
Yeah,
it
me
too.
too.
It was
I don't
not
even hate it.
because
Yeah, I
obviously
didn't hate
people.
it. I didn't hate it.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no,
the
no.
people.
Listen, Jedi, I will say this real quick because I do want to let you go, but let me say this. I like this over Black Widow movie. I don't care what anyone says. I have to pick what's the worst movie this year, I would say Black Widow for me. Eternals made it in the top 3 for me this year. We all know Spider-Man's number 1, Shang-Chi's number 2, and Eternals is number 3. That's how I would do it. And Black
I
Widow
haven't
is
watched
last.
Shang-Chi yet. I gotta watch
Shang-Chi's a
Shang-Chi.
You
shit.
still need to watch
Shang-Chi's a
Shang-Chi.
shit.
Shang-Chi's
Shang-Chi
good.
is a 10 almost.
I'll say
But
this.
I will say
Okay.
this to Jedi, and I'll say the same thing to you, Jay. You guys are missing out on so much amazing content on the Ace Vane channel. And again, if you do reactions
Oh,
to
no, I
it,
haven't
he
forgotten,
shouts the
brother.
channel out. Jedi, I think you
Yeah.
should definitely consider maybe doing some reactions blind to it, and even having like some people do it with you. Like there's one that he does of Darth Vader that's hilarious. He does one with it's called Quarantine, where he actually is like talking about the quarantine from, but he's having the DC characters in the as the back. Like, it's pretty much like an abridged series, but he's like hood as shit. And
Okay.
the best one, my favorite, is I'm in Love with Mary Jane, and he's about to finish season 2, which is all Spider-Man from the 1990s cartoon. But all you gotta do is type in Ace Vane reactions, and you'll see a ton of Black content creators who have reacted to his videos and got an insane amount of subs and views to bring people to their channel, and then they do their regular content underneath it. Just
Wait,
an
so you
idea.
do
But
reaction videos of what was it again?
Ace Vane. In fact,
Ace Vane.
yeah, if you want to get hooked, I would say start with Ace Vane Darth Vader. He does like I think it's like maybe like 8 minutes, but it's just
Or you just do
hilarious.
reaction videos? That's your.
Yeah, you can do reaction videos. He doesn't.
Oh,
He'll
okay.
shout you out on his channel
Yeah.
all the time.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll try to check it out, but like, this is also one thing for me, and this, this is the after hours thing. And what the funk, I need you to get on my show too, man. I didn't know you were on this shit too. But
It is. Mhm.
But like honestly, like a lot of things I said was kind of happening for me in like the Peef network and other stuff. This and really this is why I see a lot of times is this YouTube beef. And I talked to Jay about this, right? Not just making sure I'm not moving myself accordingly. And like when I talk to you guys, regardless who have different opinions, like I fuck with y'all, and I just want to make sure whoever I'm affiliated with, I represent me, right? And I just know, and I don't be on some bullshit. I'm not gonna be talking folks behind their back. And if I do, call me out on it. That's the thing. Like I don't think any people say ask their friends like, "Yo, man, if I'm on some bullshit, call me out. You guys got my number, right?" So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just so sick of some of this stuff that we see, at least especially in this space when we're having conversations. We just want to create another enemy because we can't shelve ego. They just and
Yeah,
yet we can have spaces
I'm
like
really
here we can
glad
joke
you
around.
listened to what Kaya and I were kind of saying on. I'm glad you spoke to Jr. I don't need to know what the conversation went like, but I'm very glad that you kind of had a conversation with them. And whatever you do is what you do. But
I had a conversation with it. It was not what I expect. It not what I expect.
Okay.
It was completely fine. It was completely fine.
Okay.
What's his name? Freezy?
Yeah.
Freezy, yeah. It's all Freezy. Yeah, I was up in there. I had to talk to him and stuff like that. But it was good. It was nothing. It was nothing. I was out. But it was literally nothing.
I just wanted to brush
So
up.
you still good on the platform?
I'm limiting myself from certain groups.
That's all you got to say.
That's all. You're right.
All right. 'Cause I got
Yeah, I was just gonna say this real quick because I talked to Daryl Long, and I talked to Lapeef Jr. for a little bit. I haven't really got that much on Lapeef's network channel that much. I only do like twice overall, but I know they have disagreements, and there's certain history there that isn't very conducive to moving on. And I talked with Jay about this behind the scenes, but it's not worth it to hold on to it, man. Just let go, shake hands if you can't. At least know, hey, at least the drama is done. Whether you guys F with each other or not, you just keep it respectful, move on, and you don't have to hold on to this stuff and beef about it. And it's just, I've talked to Daryl behind scenes, and I told him, hey, man, just don't hold on to it. Let go. I know you're going to do your thing still. You may not listen to me from time to time, but just move on. And it ain't good for you, for your soul. So I told him too. And then I also told, I didn't really get a chance to talk that much to Lapeef, to Junior, but just the moment that I have, he's very reserved now. He's more quiet about it. And I know King, Conversations with King, shout out to him too. I just know that he had his issues as well, and it just I hope it gets squashed. It's not good to have many enemies. It sucks to have a lot of enemies.
Here's the thing. I'm more focused on people watching this, because people are watching this and laughing at this shit. They're laughing at this shit, right?
Yeah,
and
that's the issue.
I have people on my platforms and other stuff. So when I was talking about last night with Kai and what the fuck, just let you know, we good. Like, yeah, we good. So like I had a conversation with JR and everything, and it was great. I'm just like I'm just know things that we're moving forward into the future, like things were good. But I need to have that conversation because I'm at a point now where I wasn't like 2.5 months ago, where like people now knowing my name now, and I'm just like, which I'm also just big, like I told Jay.
You can get free drinks at a bar now. Probably you can go to a place and people were like, "Yo, you." Like you can
like
start
literally,
getting free
like
shit.
I just pulled up to a panel. It's like, yo, you Jedi, right? I was like, oh shit. I was like, yeah. It's like it gets to that point. But like when I talked to Jay about this, is that ego is it can be so addictive. Where it's just like it goes over your head. Like, oh yeah, I'm it's Jedi here. Oh my god, whatever. I was like, no man. I'm like, I just like check that shit out the door. Because I just like I'm getting these spaces when I'm talking to these people. I just want here to have conversation to learn from it. But I know there might be assumptions, whatever, about me. I talked to Jay about this, and like me and him just like both on one accord, just like, yo, I mean, I just try to humble myself as I move, man. But just like, and also be affiliated with people like y'all, just like, you guys got my back, I got yours, but not on some bullshit,
No, you guys are like the young versions of this. Like, I think that in actuality, you guys have an opportunity to really build your own kind of platform because you guys are still in your early 20s. Whereas I think the main platforms are people who are in my age bracket or even a little bit younger, like in the like mid 30s. But what you can do is actually, I think you guys will actually end up maybe bringing more young black men to this space if you guys end up kind of doing your own thing where you're like actually kind of connecting and having conversations about the things that you guys want to have conversations with. And I think it would be astronomically awesome if you start to get women who are in your same age bracket to kind of start aligning with you and kind of.
We already are. Like I can't reveal too much, but like
don't say nothing else then.
Yeah.
Don't,
I can't reveal too much, but you're on the right track because I'm sick of this. Even also, let's get also out of our culture. Like I'm talking to Marcus and folks up here. I'm just like, like we like
yeah,
like.
Yeah, like even I'm sorry to cut you off, but even though like I may be Latino, you guys may be black, I can still talk to you guys and treat you guys like human beings and listen to you guys. I love listening to What the Funk story when he was going through his things. To me, it's a story of strength, the trials and tribulations, or what he went through, and I appreciate what the Funk talked about because me and What the Funk, we kind of started off a little rocky. I remember on Primal Stream, but then now we moved on.
Yeah, I know that. That's just me.
Yeah, but you know what? But you know what though? I still took the time to listen and hear you out and listen to your story because I think it's important to be talked about because I'm sick and tired of watching the news and having Mexican on Mexican violence, Latinos killing each other, black on black killing each other. I think we need to have communities where we can talk to each other. And I think I've always said this before. I hate to sound like a cliche, but this country was built on minorities and the sweat, blood, and tears of minorities and immigrants. And I think now, especially in this day and age, we have to come together more, man, because I'm just sick and tired of us at odds with each other, whether it's political differences, religious differences. It could be a heated debate. It could be misunderstanding. I've always said this, men's Achilles heel has been their ego and their pride and their envy.
Bingo.
That's been the Achilles heel for men.
And
obviously,
it's a path to destruction.
Yes. And it's also a path for, it could be war. It could be territories. It could be whatever it wants. But I'm tired of it, man, because it just sucks. It's just like, especially.
I'm gonna do a live stream on this about this. It's not about any like particular like conflict or what story about drama. It's just about having as men dealing with conflict and this situation and what dealing with ego and pride. And this is a lot. Now I want to talk about like in my generation, our younger age, because we don't know what the tools and the situations and things we might be align ourselves with when we might be pushed to these egos. For example, like you don't know that you might be being manipulated because you have some one dude trying to be nosy and going on 2 different platforms like, yo, I heard this dude talking shit about you. Then you go on their platforms like, yo, man, this dude talking shit about you. And you guys weren't doing it all, but now here you guys, 2 conglomerates, now you were supporters, now you fighting each other. And yet you had this one guy with an avatar in his chat, in the chat, whatever. You don't know who he is. And then yet he's the one people just wave in for the drama. Like you have to identify that, right? And I'm sick of it.
Yeah. And I think just to be more positive about things, just start. I think instead of having to answer, instead of listening, which has been an issue for some people. I used to have that problem a little bit when I was younger, but then as I got older, I just started listening even more to my elders and just listen to their stories, because I think everybody's got a book to write, and it's not complete until you pass away.
No, we don't get no sequel. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, ain't no do-overs, ain't no restart. This ain't no 64 console with like, you blow on the cartridge. It don't work like that.
Because I get called like this in conversations, like, people like, Michael, you very articulate and other, but I get one comment saying, oh, you're so general. I'm like, why you say I'm so general? Oh, because, you in terms of taking you're not taking a stand on certain things. Like, wait a minute, hold up. I give people grace, right? And that's why, because I don't have bitterness, and that's because draining me. I understand certain people's background, and I have my background in debate, but also in mediation. So when I'm talking to people, I understand where they're coming from. There's a reason why when I get able to talk to Kay and Kayla, regardless how that situation might end it, I can still talk to them on the back end and screw the bullshit. We don't need no audience, right? And I'm just here having a situation where I can understand someone's perspective, taking a back end and say, hey, all right, in this conversation right now, this dude, this man or woman, whatever, they're being having their back up against a corner, right? And I'm like, let's just take it back and address the certain issue and get past all the cheap shot side comments, whatever. And this is also another thing too, that why we men forgot to apologize, like just or pick up the phone and calling someone instead of going on social media behind the scenes. And I can't look at you in the eye and say, hey, if I fucked up, my bad. You fucked up, say my bad, bro, and move on.
Have you ever thought about taking an actual debate format and actually having conversations with a panel in that style? Because I think that would actually be way more beneficial for people to digest it. Because a lot of times on panels, it's really just people kind of the thing never really comes full circle. But I think that if you actually had debate style where people had like 3 minutes to say what they can say, then they're kind of like muted, and everybody gets a chance to kind of put their opinion, then there's actual rebuttals. And I think if you actually did a debate style format on a panel, it would really blow up.
I can try to set that up, because it's just like, because my thing is, this is like at the end, you don't know, in debate teams, we go out for lunch with each other. It's just like, and I'm just saying, not that personal, I think the point of it is also, you talking about with egos, like there's a fine line that as a man, I would just never cross. It's too, and this is just real. All right. Regardless of what, and this is not talking about anybody, whatever. Mm-hmm. I will not talk about another person's wife. I will not talk about a person's children. I will not, children, all that stuff is off limits. We can talk man to man and cut the bullshit and whatever like this. But even if it happens where we get no cheap shots, like, oh, I'm married, you're not, or hey, my girl does it, your girl's not. Look at her, when we get to that stuff, he's like, all right, it got heated, bro.
That's what women
man.
do.
Yeah. I want to say something, because I pointed that out on another stream, the Duke and Don show, and I'm gonna say his name. I'm not afraid of it, but the huge issue I had was Anthony Johnson was, I guess he's the president of 21 Studios. I don't give a damn, but you can attack the guy, but don't attack the man. He's some guy, president. He's a self-proclaimed president of the Manosphere, but he's like the actual owner and starter of the 21 Studios. I don't know what it is, but I had an issue because, listen, the same way that Duke and them were obviously holding Myron accountable for talking shit about Preach's wife, which Myron was wrong for that shit. Should never talk about a man's country or his wife. I had an issue with that because, listen, I don't know. I was raised differently. My father told me never to do that shit. That's what like females and punk bitches
Women
do.
do that shit. Thank
Yeah,
you.
females and punk bitches do that because what the woman isn't there to defend herself, and then she's not the issue. She's not the problem. It's the guy you have an issue with. You can either handle it like men on boxing ring, put the gloves on, or just talk about it. Or if you want to have a debate, whatever it is, but squash it there. But leave a man's family, leave his kids out. Don't cross that line because that is a line that at that point. I don't condone violence, but if something were to happen to you because you didn't hold your tongue and you didn't want to check yourself, that's on you, not on me. There's
And don't
consequences.
insult a man's hairline. Yeah. Like I'm fighting. Like, leave my hairline alone, okay?
Like you know, I talk to you, you light skin or a mess like that. Like, okay, I like y'all. Like,
oh, that's
I
right, Jedi. They were picking on your hairline.
I got a sign. I got an art piece already. Like remind me, like when my kids start acting up, like, hey, you fought for this. Like, so my kid, I lost my hair fighting for my damn kids, but hey,
but
my hair used to be wavy. I used to be clean. But
this is the thing though. As long like I'm getting like bigger and mess like that, I just asking you guys to hold me accountable because I trust y'all. That's what even though you me and Jay, like we only talk like a few times, but I just know I can just discern. Like I felt like we almost like knew each other for years. Like I can sense your mindset and everything. Same thing, you Marcus and stuff like that. It's just there's a certain thing when you're around some folks, have conversations like and how they think, and I just want to be around it with like-minded folks, but also who are not just biased but objective, right? When they need
Absolutely.
to be, right?
That's how I am. Every stream that I am, I listen to the objective side. All right, even though I know you messed up, I'm gonna give you a chance to explain yourself. And if you were still wrong, I'm gonna tell you, hey, you were still wrong. If you had some leverage, I guess you might have some leverage. If you were understanding, I get it. But that's just the lines you don't cross. And I'm gonna do this though. I will put my number in the private chat. You guys ever want to text me, hit me up, or talk to me, and I'll put my Instagram there as well. I'll put that on there right now. But Jedi, I again, when I say jokes like reading Rainbow, I don't mean it to like pick on you and be mean to you. It's just a matter of joking. The hairline, I don't know about that. You can blame LeBron James for that. I don't know about that, but you can you can blame LeBron James.
Honestly, Jedi.
Jedi, you okay? Jedi, you need this? You okay? You all right?
What is that?
Coconut oil, bro. You scratching like a pig who got a new leave in. You all right, bro?
Oh my god.
No.
Bro, you all right?
No. So this is also the thing you don't know about me.
Sponsorship coconut oil. Like yo.
No, this is also the thing you don't know about me too. I mentioned this. I actually had some interviews I had to do like earlier this week on other people's pages. But so when I'm talking like this, like I only had like a 40% chance of living when I was a kid. Like when I was born, I had like a lot of medical problems too. So I was born with eczema, but I was also born with a mild low to like Tourette syndrome. So it was like in the first stream, like if you saw me and Kay and Kayla, how I would like talk really fast, or whatever, or like I would like scratch my head or pick, whatever like that. That was basically where it was coming from.
Oh, that's my bad. I thought you had actual dandruff. My bad.
No. So that's where it came from.
You can still
right?
get the sponsorship.
No. We still get sponsorship. We'll still get royalties.
He's like, take a shower, motherfucker. What the fuck was thinking? Take a shower the whole time.
Yeah.
No. It ain't even that. Like I used to have that shit in my bar for people all the time. Like when like I have like emergency.
But here's the thing, and I don't. And it's nothing, not really insecurity about it, but it's at the time when people didn't think that like people say I'm a fast talker. That's kind of like where it comes from, but. Now, like sometimes you don't see me do this anymore, whatever, because I'm more relaxed and I can joke around and mess. So that's and that's where it comes from. But I'm very transparent about it because this is what people were feel very insecure about it for a long time. I didn't thought I was really a good effective speaker, but like his the proof's in the pudding now. So I just. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, but that's just come from that where I was a kid. Like I would stutter a lot. Like I couldn't talk to you like this and stay this still. I'll constantly, as a child, constantly just move, whatever. Like it was bad, and but so whenever I get moments where it might get maybe some moments of anxiety, or also this too, when I get tired, if I get tired, when I start doing, that's when it comes back. So when I have those moments, wherever, I'm just letting you guys now know what it is. So, but I'm very transparent about it because it's just like now it's just Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that's why I said the whole Reading Rainbow, and I called you Reading Rainbow because the guy was actually a great speaker, and I think he was a host and a narrator.
It was eloquent.
He would read
speaker,
the
yeah.
Yeah, and he would read the books because like that's how I learned education from time to time. I listened to Reading Rainbow. I watched the books right there.
Yeah, and also this is also
Shouts out to
damn.
Arthur here, everybody.
But this is another thing I
Shucks.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
What? The great debate should a man be able to argue with the unruly one? Ah.
Oh, hold on. What? I hope you don't hear. The great
Yo,
debates
that's a
of a
great
so
one.
should a man be able to? Oh, I like that.
No,
That's
he knows. He knows.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but this is the thing too. Like, I'm glad like a season on the La Peep Network where when I see the chat, like chats be on some bullshit, right? So now I'm like, nothing's phased me. Like you can say, I get Teddy Riley, I get Urkel, all this shit. I'm like, I don't, Pastor.
Yo, that's crazy. How you get so many names? But yo, I'm gonna say like, listen, you know that brother from Mint Condition? You do look like one of them cats, but that's a compliment. All them brothers, they got
Mint
box
Condition?
hair.
You look like Teddy Riley's son.
Yes.
You do look like Teddy Riley's son. I ain't gonna front.
He does
He's from
actually, but that's a compliment, brother. Them brothers can sing. What you talking about?
It's just like
And
I
they dress
embrace it.
good.
I'm just like so folks get so emotional about shit. You calling names like I don't give like come on,
Yeah.
And they'll call you every other name of the son and mess like that just so they can get you. Like nah, you messing with the wrong one. I embrace it.
So don't worry. I
Oh,
used to
man.
call
I
names
get-
too.
I
Like
get so
like
many
she'll
Nick
call me
Cannon comments.
Romeo.
I'll be like, y'all
Which
really,
is weird.
y'all need to stop.
Nick Cannon?
Who's
You got wait. You got Nick
Oh man, I get called
Cannon?
Nick Cannon. I get called all types of man. It's not even funny anymore. Retarded looking
Nick
Boris
Cannon?
Cujo. What else I get? Broke Damian Wayans. What else? Peanut head. Yeah, I got them all.
Damian Wayne.
I get Richard Jefferson
The
and
Wayans
low key a
brothers.
lot. Like Richard Jefferson.
Wait, Richard Jefferson? Okay, I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still a basketball player, so that's more of a compliment.
Right.
But
Yeah.
who do you get, Jay?
I get Romeo. I get freaking I get freaking Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
I don't know how I get Chris. I don't know how. Somebody call me
That's
Chris
some white
Tucker,
people. That's some white people. You can't judge the nicknames white people give you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. One of them said I look like freaking
Little Bill. Yo.
Little Bill. Yeah, that's one of them right there. Little B.
Okay.
They gave me that. Yo, one cat gave me Usher, but I'm like, no, that's my cousin you're thinking of. I don't look like Usher. There's no way.
Usher?
No.
Mr. Herpy Man? No, don't let nobody call you Usher.
Yeah.
Oh hell,
I gotta head out, y'all. When is emergency? 1 second. Yeah.
No.
Yo, yeah, we'll talk soon, y'all. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much, Jenna, for showing up, brother. I want you to have a good night, and like I said, I'll be there for that topic Saturday. Please believe that.
Yeah, man.
Jedi. Be easy, brother.
What's up, 100?
That's what.
Be easy, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You sliding out. Be blessed and be easy. You know what I'm saying? Stay safe out here in these streets. Make sure you're wearing your mask and keep some hand sanitizer with you.
That's true. Yeah, no, we're gonna talk soon though. But yeah, we also got I don't know if I got your number, but I got probably your IG or whatever about that whole business stream that you say you want to work together on, and stuff like that. We got you.
Oh yeah, on Monday we talking about branding businesses. That's the episode for Mondays this week. Branding businesses.
So I know what I'll just do that where you'll do. I can do whatever we do on your stream, and I'm gonna do a stream. I'm gonna do my tutorial for overlays. That'll probably just be the same. The whole day we just do branding. And all that. Got you.
Bet easy money. We can knock
overlays too. By the way, that's gonna help me out.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah. Anyway, y'all, peace, y'all.
Stay up, man.
Peace, brother. Be easy, brother. My man Watts, what's up, man?
Man, what's happening, man? Hey, y'all, what's good?
Oh, we doing good, man. We just, like I said, we covered the topic we need to that we need to cover tonight, and then we just hitting that. We on after hours now. Pretty much be anything. It's a free for all. Any topic you want to talk about, we speak.
Oh, I just wanted to come up here and come kick it with y'all for a minute. Y'all was talking about something nice and decent, you feel me? And listening to y'all, it made me that question you had up there. That question you got right there, like that brought that one to my brain. And then it threw me off because then what the fuck talking about? Don't joke on my hairline.
But no, we should definitely answer this question. I think it's actually really dope.
All right, let's do this. Let's do it. Why not?
Wait, rock, paper, scissors. Who's going first?
What'd you put down?
My answer easy. I mean, I don't see the need to argue with a woman at all. So my answer is easy. But y'all can go ahead, Rock.
Walk away. Okay. That's my simple. Walk away. Mm-hmm. Treat them as the irrelevant bug that they are.
I will say, sometimes it's necessary, especially when it's when it's like a public setting, and arguing. You're absolutely right. No, but to hold your position, it depends on how she's arguing. Like unruly, you kind of need to like. Okay, I guess I'm biased because I've dealt with unruly drunk women all my life, and it's like it's fun to pick their bullshit apart and point it out. And that's why I say sometimes it's like when you do that well enough and then get tipped from the people who watch it, that's sometimes maybe why I come across so abrasive, because it's like when people are saying really unruly things that I can pick apart.
It makes perfect sense now.
It triggers me to kind of like, wait a minute. And then like my entire life has been, it's the reason why I'm retired right now at 40, because I'm really good at that. But I have to figure out a way to kind of not do it where it's triggering people, but at the same time, I'm still getting my logical points across. But yeah, I'm really good at that because I was raised on a black college campus. So unruly women it's not anything.
If it's not my woman, I just if it's not my chick, then I really just don't even see the need. Like, bitch, get out my face. Please leave me alone. Just leave me the fuck. This is not even that serious. Like, you sound stupid.
You're absolutely correct, but the problem is I'm good at that, and that's where I mess up. Like,
I mean,
if I wasn't good at it, I would definitely say like, just walk away because it's wasteful energy. But I see the spirit of my big sister. When I hear these women chirping. And I'm like,
see, the only time I really like going back and forth is when we really like, I'm not gonna say really talking about something, because we can talk about sports and go back and forth. Like, it's really not that serious, but I like those kind of back and forth type of things. You feel me? Like, we're actually having a conversation, but it's, oh no, you just mad because you short. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck.
Okay. So let's say, what if a woman's having a conversation with you being a father and saying like, oh my God, so many like black men don't want to be fathers. And she's being unruly, and you have the perspective like, yo, what do you like? Actually, a majority of them actually do. It's just hard for them to deal with the child's mother. Like, and she's being unruly. Do you just kind of say, okay, fine, keep your position and walk away? Or do you kind of like try to push back on it?
Damn, what the funk? I could see that being a logical. I could see that being a logical reason, because I'm never cool with anybody questioning my fatherhood. Like, me being a father, you can say whatever you want about my height, or you can talk about my hair, or you can call me ugly or whatever. But when you questioning me as a father, now we got to get into it.
Right.
Yeah, you right about that. You're right. So I see what you're saying. Sometimes it is necessary.
But I also understand the need to walk away, because it's like after a certain point, when your point's not landing, I always say I judge the crowd. If the crowd has understood my point, or the people who are around have understood my point, then I'm good. I don't even need to speak to this woman anymore, because it's like I've already made my position held, and she's not going to hear it. Like, nobody's ever had an argument where it's like, and like, oh, wait, hold up. Yeah, that's a good point. My bad. Like, that's very rare to have that happen. So it's actually more sometimes when you're having an argument with an unruly person, you're performing for the crowd and the people who are around that person, because they'll be the ones that will kind of not say that you're right or wrong, but they'll be the ones that be like, well, that other person's crazy. And I think in our community, we try to go crazy too fast in arguments instead of actually trying to have points. It's usually the person that gets the loudest, the person that's the craziest. And our community will say, oh, they won. When in reality,
exactly.
When in reality, in a bar type setting, that's not what wins. In a restaurant, it's the person that makes the other person look completely stupid, because other people then want to chime in. Like, no, dude's right. And that's what doesn't get to happen so much on YouTube. most people get to kind of like have their disagreements, and the other people don't really chime into the argument. And I hope that is actually something that starts to change in the next coming years.
Yeah, no,
I agree
definitely not with black women.
Yeah, not the chat though. The chat is bullshit. Like I'm ignoring the chat. The chat.
Oh no, the chat is hilarious. I love the chat. The chat be hilarious.
Yeah.
Even when they don't agree with me, I enjoy it because these motherfuckers, like sometimes, like when they don't agree with, when they're in the chat and they don't agree with you, the points that they use be so conflating sometimes. Oh yeah, let me pick this apart because you sound stupid right now.
Yeah, some people be thinking that I have like Tourette's and shit, and like because I be looking up. I'm like, I'm making sure not to look at the chat. I'm trying to make sure I'm listening to what these people are saying so I can, like pick their points and make sure I'm trying to form my position. And if I'm looking at the chat the whole time, there's no way I can be logically listening to what this person's saying in the argument because I'm like analyzing what the chat is saying. So I'm always like trying to look up and I'm like this and like he's never looking at the camera. I'm like, who? Like, am I supposed to be looking at the camera during this shit? Like real talk? Like, all right.
Be like, what?
Yeah, but I know that most people actually do look at the camera, so it's like maybe I'm just the one that's being different about it.
No. Like I said, listen, I always say, like, what the fuck? Whenever you're on like camera, like you're always articulating and thinking things, which isn't bad to do at all. I don't care what anyone says. Like, don't let whatever people say stop you from being you or what makes that mind works for you. I don't give a damn what anyone says. I've told this to professors in their faces. I've told this to women in their faces. I didn't give a damn. There was one point in time where I was like, okay, F this. I'm tired of y'all bullshit. No. And after that,
I know my biggest thing.
My business.
I know my biggest thing is when I'm listening to somebody and they start sounding crazy. Like I have a problem tuning people out. Like when you sound like you're off the wall to me, like I have a problem with tuning people out. Like sometimes I have to pay more attention to what you're saying, so I can actually follow your talking points. But it's just like, oh man, all right, you sound stupid, and then I just zone out for a second. I know that's my problem.
That's not a problem.
I mean, I have that problem too sometimes because I'm trying my best to, like, if it's a stupid point, I do tone out, and I'm really trying hard not to kick that habit. But if it isn't related to the topic, then why are you saying it? Because you're just trying to say something just to say it. Like when we had a conversation earlier, nobody was trying to say anything that didn't pertain to the topic. Everybody said something that pertained to it. Nobody's out here saying, "Well, do you know weasels attack their children or some shit?" Dude, when you say some shit like that, then I can't take you seriously. You gotta shut up. I gotta kick you out. You're not like.
I was gonna say I haven't even said shit on this topic yet. I'm just listening, letting you guys go in like a barbecue, just straight chefing.
Okay.
You need to get like the soundboard with like Martin from the Martin Show, where like get to stepping. Like you need to have that.
Yeah, you gotta have a soundboard.
Yeah, hit that button and then drop their ass straight from the stream.
Yeah,
like,
I swear to God, I think we really need that Dave Chappelle wrap it up machine so many times. Like
wrap it up.
Like really though. I'd be like,
I think I gotta go with. I was gonna say, so I can touch up on this real quick. I do believe in walking away with a woman is that talking very reckless and kind of crazy and asinine. But I also believe, like what the Funk was saying, sometimes the uncomfortable conversations, the uncomfortable truth is what is necessary to have. You may not like to hear it, you may not like to take it, but hey, like I remember me and what the Funk disagreed on this, but I'd rather tell a girl the truth, even if she can't handle it or take it, just because I know it's gonna like clear my conscience and take the weight off from my shoulders. Depending on how the woman wants to react and take it, that's her business, not mine. At that point, I've cleaned my hands, I washed my hands, and like what the Funk says, there's a door, there's a carpet, clean your shit and take and get out, and I'll replace you. Like I told my ex, like all of my exes before, I don't get it twisted. I can replace you. I don't need you. I told that to like the last 3 girlfriends that I had. I was like, I don't need to, and it happened. I replaced them with the next one and on to the next one, and then that was it. And then I'm still here, still standing.
I've said that a couple times too. Like, shorty, it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be easier for me to find another you before you find another me.
Bars. Shit.
Now, should a man be able to argue with an unruly man?
All day, all fucking day. Let's go.
Really, like,
Yeah.
I think from my opinion, the most part is because this is going to sound a little arrogant, but it's more scientifically, biologically proven that men can be more logical than women when it comes to a debate. Like we can have a debate. Who's the GOAT, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? And could they get a little heated? Of course. But most of the time, men stay mostly composed to certain topics. I think certain topics that are more fragile could be like, I don't know, it could be something like PTSD and war and like politics or religion. Man, those things start adding up and they start building up. Maybe who knows that? I've gone to some, not shouting from my end, but like when certain people, I shout out to the Muslim community because I'm very close with them as well. But because I grew up more Christian, but I have some few Muslim friends and family members. You know, and sometimes they get into heated debates with me. It's like, oh, it's like, dude, like I ain't trying to start World War III over here. I'm just trying to like understand and listen to the Quran. And like, you know, I listen to the Quran. I've read it, the Quran, and I also read my Bible still from time to time, the scriptures. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I cuss sometimes, and you know, I might get a little, you know, frivolous, if you know what I mean. Sometimes when I'm with my girl, I know it's premarital, but you know, it's just see certain topics, you know. You know what I'm saying?
I just think that with men, like we can go to the extreme and throw hands with each other and still end up at the same bar, you know.
Yeah, but 100, but sorry. But men, for the most part, we don't throw hands. We can still talk and we'll be fine. We might get a little loud, but for the most part, we're not throwing hands with each other. Women, they'll hold it in contempt.
That's the issue. Like it used to be, men would throw hands and then we could share a beer and it was all good. But now we have so many men who have effeminate, like men argue like women, and it'll get to the point where they want to pull a gun out. And
because
I mean, too much in their emotion.
So many times where men will have an argument. I'm like, yo, it sounds like two women chirping at each other. I'm like, hey, do y'all want to box this out in the alley and then y'all can come back? And they don't want to do that. They get so emotional that they actually want to end the other person's life. And I'm like, well,
yeah, because I've examined some women, and I've shout out to Angelus because I remember him saying this too. But I did the same thing. Whenever you just constantly let women talk and let them sink themselves, I've been around groups of women where one girl will say something kind of semi like a dig, and the girl that received it, she holds it in for months, and then she's like talking behind that girl's back, and then before you know it's a feud, then they start fighting, then they ain't friends no more, then she'll fuck her boyfriend. Some shit like this, it'll happen. And I was like, what the hell? All because y'all disagreed or it was like a misunderstanding? Y'all are gonna go to that level? I was like, yeah, but she ain't shit. She thought she's a shit. Her pussy ain't like this. And I was like, bro, it is not worth it.
Sir, that voice impression, whoever you just did was highly disrespectful.
That's perfect.
I don't know. I'm talking about some Latina. I'm talking Latinas when Latinas are like that. When I can talk about my Latinas because Latinas when they're like that in Spanish. Your voice for Latina women? I'm just translating into English. I'm translating into English because if I were doing it in Spanish, they might try to get me under Telemundo, you know.
You know. But I think all of us, honestly, like when it comes to men going back and forth, like I think we grew up. Well, I can speak for myself. Like I grew up in a time where, you know, you can be in high school, you can argue with somebody, meet each other in the bathroom, throw hands in it, and then we go right back to the next class, and it not be a problem. Like we don't even talk about it no more. You feel me? Like, but I agree with you. Nowadays, you be lucky if somebody don't pull a gun on you before first fist gets thrown. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand that.
Your Watts actually will agree with you, bro. Because all my friends that I have thoughts with, or my cousins, we squashed it and we cool to this day. We don't even bring it up. Like, dude, men, we actually once we've settled the beef, we cool. Like it ain't over. Like
you laugh about
it. Yeah, and the thing is, it's like the episode on freaking Family Guy where he fought the chicken. He's like, wait, dude, what were we even fighting about? And he's like, you know what? I have completely freaking forgotten. Like, yeah, something about a freaking. I'm like, yeah, I don't remember, dude. Like, we were just angry. We was going with our emotions. And the thing is, that is realistic in a sense. Once we squash it, like we fight, we ain't trying to kill each other. We just trying to box each other's hands. We good. We squash the beef, and then after that, we can be friends. And it's crazy. That's why I said all my dude friends, we all fought, and then we are all cool to each other to this day. like we don't have any problems. We don't even get into fights anymore. We just
because I think with men, it's just a matter of one man respecting the fact that another man is willing to stand on his point. It's not even necessarily about being right. It's just the fact that you're willing to stand on your point. Like you're willing to be a man and drop your nuts and say, nah, I believe in this. You know what I'm saying? Like the respect for that is. I think that part is amazing because going back and forth with women, they gonna fuck your argument. I'm gonna start picking you apart. That's why your mama bald headed. Wait a minute, my mama ain't had nothing to do with this.
Do with this, right? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, they'll say, "Oh man, you're just mad because you're broke. You're broke. You got no money. You ain't got no shit. You got little dick energy, stuff like this." Like Latino women, when you get them mad, bro, they'll slice and dice you. They'll want to slice and dice you. And the next thing you know, not only though, they're gonna want to fight you, they're gonna want to fight the next girl you're with. They're gonna want to fight your mama, your daddy. They're gonna want to kick the dog on the way out.
Bro, your house was fun.
Yes, jump in this. Like, the women that you deal with,
you can jump in if you want.
You date. Do you have the same thing?
Yeah.
Like how do white women get unruly?
I'm just catching up with the conversation here.
No. You got the Malcolm X finger, so you ready to jump in?
I think you're ready.
The women of your culture, right? When they're getting unruly in an argument, what are some of the things? What's some of the behaviors, and what are some of the things that they do?
You're no longer invited to my birthday party.
Oh God.
So like, I primarily date the Latin women's because they're more fun.
Oh shit!
I had a
he like the Oros con pollo.
I had a girlfriend once. What was it? She got super, because they're super jealous and they're always trying to find out you're cheating. Then they get mad when they find out you're not cheating. And it's like, yeah, no shit. I've been telling you for like 20 minutes now. But she tried to explain to me once. She's like, but you have to understand that my culture, cheating's so natural, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, welcome to America. Get with the program.
You really didn't say that, though, did you?
I did say that. I was pissed.
Did you really say, welcome to America, get with the program?
I was pissed.
Bro, she's still with you? Wes, she's still with you?
No, that was a long time ago. But
so you want
lasted for a long time after
Wes,
that, too.
Wes, you got a man card from me. Just by the fact that you said that after you already won the argument.
And she still didn't go in on you? Congratulations, man.
She felt so bad that she took me and the kids out to dinner. She actually took us out to dinner and paid for dinner.
Man, you got it like that? Your credit score must be high. Fuck.
Right.
I just learned a long time ago to not take shit from women. You take shit from women, they will never stop, throwing shit on your head. And there's a gray area where you can just like, oh, all right, she's had a bad day, let her chill out. But when she starts pulling this random ass shit out of left field, just tell her, just leave. Just walk out.
That's true.
You're in my house. I wanted to watch a show with you, eat some food, and fuck.
You guys know who the true godfather of this space is, right? I think we should really start like doing reactions to him. So many people in this space, like they get so many of their points and their ideology from Patrice O'Neal, and I thoroughly suggest that people check out the Cult of Black Phillips. He did that before he passed away, and there's so much knowledge in that podcast where it's like you just have it on the background. But I definitely think that should be like a deep dive discussion of people like discussing the philosophy of Patrice O'Neal.
I was gonna say I'm just watching The Office earlier, and besides the Eternals, and I watched Patrice O'Neal on The Office, and I watched some of his comedy stands, and I watched some of the stuff he preaches when he's in his comedy like sections, when he's in his specials.
Yeah, but he's really dropping the jewels on like Obie and Anthony. Like he was on that podcast a lot, and there's a lot of deep conversations that he has. And then after he started doing the Obie and Anthony show, he started his own podcast called Cult of Black Phillips, and it's really like he just breaks it down so logically.
Black Phillips, I heard that.
Yeah, that's Cult. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, I've been getting into the Neely Fuller Jr. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, Neely Fuller.
I'm the one that told you about Neely Fuller Jr., man. Jesus Christ.
Was that you? Was that you?
Yes, that was me.
Oh, shit. Well, I'm going to give you credit, man. You get the credit and the validation now. You got the credit and validation now. All right. Yeah, no, I've been getting into him, and man, like it's when I started listening to him, it's like I can listen to him for hours for some reason. Just the way he's speaking on especially the information he's giving out. I'm just surprised. Like,
yeah,
there should be more people speaking like him.
I have his funk mix finished. I'm taking from hip hop cartoons, the animations, and I'm putting it into funk music. And
okay.
Yeah, I've been doing that with a few other people in this manosphere space because I just think it'd be a kind of a cool way to have like a different genre of hip hop where it's like you can actually get like real nuggets of that instead of just the stripper music that we have today.
Okay.
Stripper music.
It'd be good to get back to the source where it was about telling stories. Originally, all music starts as the same form of telling stories about your life. Then at some point, they're like, "Oh, well, this candy pop over here seems to get more interest." But I think a lot of people are starting to get tired of that now because you listen to the top songs on the radio. It's all about being useless. Good job making billions of dollars on telling people to be useless. But I'm starting to see when I see something with real substance to it, a lot of young people are starting to feed off of that because it's about telling stories.
Yeah,
is there a hip hop song about how to be a good dad? Like,
none.
Is there a hip hop artist about like how to actually have like a good relationship with a woman and how to like vet the right woman? Like, maybe, but like you sure as hell can't find it. That's what we need most in our community anyway, because we lack actual leaders.
I think J. Cole has good. I think J. Cole has good music for like certain situations. You know what I'm saying? Like he has the damn, what's the name of that song? I think it's I don't know.
So I will write that
down.
I
don't know if it's 03 Adolescence or Wet Dreams, but there's a specific song when he's talking about his first time getting cheeks, you know what I'm saying, and how he felt like he needed to lie to her to not be a virgin because he felt uncomfortable if he told her he was a virgin. Like those, like that's some real shit. Like, you know, you meet a chick and you think you got the possibility to smash, and it's like, I don't want to look corny until I ain't never had none before, so I'm gonna lie to her, and then she actually pull your card and be like, all right, cool, pull up. You know, so like that, and the reason I think something like that is cool because that's literally was my experience, because she pulled my card and was like, all right, cool, let's go. And I was like, oh shit, what do I do now? I don't even know how to put a condom on.
What album should I've never even listened to J. Cole. What album should I start with?
You never listened to J. Cole?
2014.
I'm 40 years old, man. I'm old.
J. Cole, 2014 Forest Hill Ave, I think would be the best album to start with.
2414?
No, 2014, Forest Hill Ave.
Got it. Now wait, is this the guy that wore the dress this year?
No, hell no. No, hell no. I think you're talking about you're talking about Kid Cudi.
Okay, got it. So that's someone different because I sure as hell wouldn't listen to him.
J. Cole and any rapper that's wearing a dress, I ain't fucking with that. I can't.
Wait, Kid Cudi's in a dress now? No, he went that down bad.
Now, I don't know how much you're in this YouTube space, but you know how everyone talks about like the black person wearing the dresses in Hollywood, right? I see on YouTube, I see so many content creators who are black who will dress up as a woman to, instead of like hiring a black woman to play the part, they play the part, and it's like in a weird way they're doing the exact same shit that a lot of the black men have been doing in Hollywood, where they do this stereotypical black version. And it's like, I don't think anyone notices the programming of that. Like, you really don't see many black female content creators who are comedians. Like, there's a few, and there's some really dope ones. But there's more black men portraying themselves as women, stereotypically, and getting way more views doing that. And that shit, I think, needs to get called out. Because the same smoke we have for people in Hollywood for wearing dresses is the same smoke we should have for these black YouTubers who do the same shit.
Agreed.
Yeah,
100%.
I was gonna say something earlier that it's similar to what the funk was trying to prove, but it was about like positive role model, like being a good positive father and stuff, like songs like that. Well, I was talking to Jay on like another stream when some of these girls that go on certain podcasts and they say, "Oh, what kind of stuff do you have to bring to the table?" But none of these ladies have ever said that, "Oh, I'm very well family oriented. I'm good, close to my family values and traditions, and I'll always be good with the parents and the family and stuff." I never hear these women say that, and they have opportunity to say these things, yet they don't. So you realize some of these priorities that some of these girls end up stating. And to me, that's important. Like, if you're good with your family and you treat my family well, that's like a mega superstar bonus, like check off you, because it just shows that you're you're well within your family values and together with your family.
Marcus, to say this, to touch up on that. See, the difference is no one ever mentions things to make a marriage last. No one mentions duty. No one mentions responsibility. Just the idea of labor itself that you will have to do in order to do that. Like marriage is work. Do you ever talk to your grandparents and your mom and your dad and say, "Yo, it's work." Like it's and this whole
That's damn
thing that
true.
I've appreciated. Yeah, exactly. I said it on Duke and Don's, and I'm gonna say it here because I want every cat to hear me say it. I literally said, "Listen, this fairy tale Walt Disney bullshit that has been bought into you since you were a kid is some nonsensical shit because you all jumped on it like hotcakes, and it was falsified. None of you. First of all, I want to understand something to this because I have to deep dive this because it's nothing any overly too complicated. You ladies are not Snow White. You ladies are not Cinderella. You ladies are not Tiana. You know what all those girls have that you do not have? They
Artists.
know how to cook. Yes. No. Femininity. Number one. Two. They have an atmosphere that loves that men just jump to. They cater to them. They literally are freaking allured by it. You don't have that shit. You have the fucking echoings of a fucking ape. You are terrible. You can't lure anybody. The only thing you can do is scream, "Help me! I'm a victim." That's all I hear. Literally. Or just me. It's my turn.
But a little pushback
That's
on
all I
that.
hear.
A little
Go ahead,
pushback
brother.
on that. I've seen the Ratchets have a nice environment of people in line trying to pick them up. Like the Ratchet ones,
Guys trying to get out the rocks.
Yeah, the Ratchet ones keep a couple of them in the
true,
pocket.
Wes. That is true, Wes.
That's exactly why I will. That's exactly why I will never be serious with a Ratchet joint. Like they fun, they cool times. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to take them out and smash them, but to lock them down,
got good smoke too.
Word to mommy, they know where to find.
Free. They always got free smoke. I'll be like, yo, let's kick it. Like you my best friend.
Yeah, that's another sign. Because how you always got the good. How you always got the good from the plug? You must be working,
like the
you must be working out an extra deal on the back end.
Like, yo, I be having them to get it for me. Like they get extra.
No, I just have a question for you guys.
They probably pay for it other ways.
Yep, they got a deal on the back end.
I will pimp a girl out for extra weed.
I wanted to. Damn.
THC.
I had a quick question for the guys on the panel though. But I know like I've lived in certain areas that were sketchy, like whether it was the hood or a simple place. Like I never lived in a rich area. It was always either the hood or semi better than the hood. But have you guys ever met a woman that were like, yeah, like I just don't know how to put it. But no, just like women in general that were like hidden gems in those areas where they were still good women, they were responsible women, they were trying to get more educated, they're trying to be better. Did you guys still meet women like that in those areas? Like
yeah, but they make sure they're not seen often at all.
They're not running the streets.
They're more introverted. Yep. They're more introverted.
Yeah, because they're focused on doing what they're trying to do. Like I met a couple of girls that was on the track team, and all they do is school, track, and go right back to the crib. They don't do none of that kickback shit. They don't do none of that extra lingering around school. None of that. They handle their business and go right back to the crib. It's hard.
Okay, so are those the same girls that do the damn hardest to move out of those areas to do better? Is that what? But do you guys ever stay in contact or ever try to mess with those kind of girls?
I mean, I think a lot of us try, but I think a lot of us realize at an early age, like there's either two things. Either they're going for older men because the older men are already established and can actually put them in a better position. So if it's a girl your age who's on her shit and like there mentally and she sees through the bullshit, it's very difficult for you to try to get at her because again, so many men have been trying to get at her. Like I always like if a woman gives you her time, like she's been offered man's time since the age she's been 13. So if a woman's actually even giving you time to be around her, you kind of need to take that shit serious and see if it's someone you want, like, because she can be around anybody that she wants to be. And if a woman is on her shit and she's actually a good woman and you're getting like alone time with her, yo, take that shit serious because so many people would pay money to have that. But more than likely, for us as men at that age, when we run across women like that, we don't have the whereabouts to actually realize how important or how valuable of a gem that woman is. I don't think we really realize that until we're at least like past 25.
Yeah, we just she bougie. Oh, you think you too good for me or some shit? You know,
or it's just too much work. A lot of us in our culture, we're taught from our elders to take the low hanging fruit rather than actually being a better man and trying to get a woman that's going to be a good muse for us. Even especially in sports, like the locker room talk that I heard when I was playing basketball was always like, "Oh, that chick's ready to like she's always wet." Like we're always taught psychologically to get the low hanging ratchet fruit. And then, of course, when we were growing up and seeing the hip hop videos and the tip drill, our base sexual desire is that, so we end up kind of making that mistake. And thank God my grandpa took me out of like the environment I was in and put me on a reservation. But that's the only reason why I'm even somewhat different is because I realized that there's great women worldly. Like I was traveling the world at an early age. So I noticed that there's great black women in other places and you don't have to, those other black women are actually way more sexy to me. So when you come back to America, after you've seen the world, you're like, this really doesn't work for me. That's kind of behavior. But most men have not left the matrix. So they think that they're supposed to be with that kind of woman. Same thing I said earlier, like that whole drama love and woman's talking shit and baby boy, bitch, make me some tacos. Like that's just beyond fucking stupid. But that's a lot of our culture, that whole belly shit. Keisha, get on the bed and then you completely, fuck the shit out of her so she shuts up. Like that's really not what we're supposed to be doing. But that's what we're
not supposed to be doing that. Like that's more of a drainage and just more hampering on just nonsense instead of progression.
Yeah. I was literally thinking about Hustle and Flow for a minute when you guys are referencing those movies like Hustle and Flow and shit like that.
When you look at a lot of television, television aimed at black viewers, a lot of it's really horrible television. I remember living closer to Atlanta, living in a black neighborhood. I would hear black teenagers walking up and down the street saying things verbatim as if they're saying it from something they watched on BET the night prior. Like, I don't give a fuck about this, blah, 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 blah. Like, have a real conversation, child.
No, you're absolutely right.
Actually try to work something out. Right. But anytime, when I was a kid, we had Family Matters, one of the greatest shows to have ever been on TV. And 8-9 years it was on TV. They only had one episode that was specifically dedicated to, I guess, what you would call black issues. Aside from that, it was a family. Yeah. And that was amazing. But I'm not seeing that on modern television. Even when they're trying to produce family shows, it has to be very
stereotypical.
They have to constantly bring up they have to constantly identify black people as being a separate entity from the rest of the human race.
I was going to say something. Oh, sorry. Go for it, man. Finish.
Well, okay. Well, we're all here. Especially if you have a family, we all know we have to go to work. So I think there's more similarities than what there are differences, but we're being taught to see differences more than similarities.
Absolutely. Yeah. I also wanted to add on to I think shows like Family Matters, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, they had responsible. No, but they had responsible black parents, especially male role models who had good jobs, good careers, that were supporting the family, they were paying it. So I think Family Matters, the man was a chief of police or a captain on the Family Matters. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the man was a lawyer, attorney for a law firm. I guess he was a judge. I think he was a judge.
Yeah, I guess we can't reference the Bill Cosby show anime, huh?
No, we can't.
We allowed to. We like Voldemort from Lord of the Rings, like the show that can't be named.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
My childhood was ruined. Freaking Bill Cosby was on Captain Kangaroo as well, too.
Oh yeah, he was.
I was broken, man. Broken.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I can't really talk about Mexican channels because they don't really have that many for us. We're like the token Mexicans, but it is what it is.
All right. It is 4:20 here. I'm about to have me a session and get ready to fall back asleep. It's 4:20 in Germany. So
20
on Germany. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, I'm about to
Germany
do some female type shit and go wash my hair.
I want to be you so much, man. I wish. I really hate you so much.
Never heard of Rogaine?
Rogaine.
In my dreams, I'd be like, I'd be flipping it off.
Flying that hair.
I mean, but why you playing though? I'm trying to enjoy it for as long as I can because I know, like, I already know it's hereditary in my family. At some point, the hairline gonna start.
Take all the pictures you can while you got this hair.
Bro, my shit been receded. What are you talking about?
Oh, you got it too, Jay?
Bald.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I ain't playing about that. As soon as I notice that it's starting to go away, I'm getting rid of all
Yeah, okay.
Damn, Jay, you look 40.
He went from 27 to 40 with that. Oh, God.
I'm not 27, you dumbass. I'm 30. Wait, no. That's you, folks.
Yo, you look young. I always say Jay looks 25, but then once he takes it off,
I was 25 and I'm bald. That's insulting. I'm 30, bro. I'm 30. All right.
Well, you know what? Yeah, man, you got that Homer Simpson haircut.
See, the difference is my hairline didn't recede. Someone effed up my hairline, and I said, just make me bald. F it. Do that.
And you got the Morpheus. Now you got the Morpheus.
Oh, yeah. See, that's exactly why I stopped going to the barbershop. After I got too many bad haircuts, yeah, no, fuck it. I'm
so pissed at him. Yo, bro, watch.
Yeah.
Watch. I literally jumped off the chair and said, yo, you fucked me up. I literally said that. Trust me, that was my last time ever cussing. Literally. And I felt bad, but I was pissed off. I couldn't help it. I was like, you fucked me up.
I bet you I would have walked out without paying for that shit.
I was gonna say, what the funk? You look like the guy from that show Las Vegas, the security guy. You remind me of the Las Vegas actor. He looked like him. Yeah, that
no.
It was either that or Lex Luthor.
I get every light skinned person. I got Braxton from Jamie Foxx show. I get it all. It's like
no.
Don't you no. Don't you no. Don't whoa. No, do not connect
Braxton.
the dot. I'm supposed to smoke some weed and now I gave you a whole insult. He gonna call me Braxton in the chat one day and make me cry. Hell no.
Braxton in the house.
I'm watching the Jamie Foxx show tonight because of that. That is hilarious.
Yeah,
get that whole last 1 minute of what I was saying. Jedi mind.
We can edit it out. We can edit it out.
Yeah, and then Wes gives me those Dexter vibes. I look at Wes and I'm like, Dexter, let's go.
Oh my god,
I've gotten that before.
Man. Yeah, it was that or Bones, like that show from Bones right there.
Wait, who's he from Bones?
Let me go get my smoke on.
Y'all be easy.
All right, you pick That's wild.
Braxton. He said Braxton.
So wait. Wes has gotten Dexter. Okay, so have you actually watched that series?
I watched parts of it. Yeah,
I watched the whole original series. I haven't watched this new one because all these reboots are just horrible.
Oh shit! What the fuck? Is that you? CSI, TMZ. Holy shit! You got a doppelganger. Oh god!
Thank you for sharing with that, Wes. I appreciate that.
Jesus, Wes, killing me.
Respect to what the fuck. Respect to my man Watts. Respect to my man Jedi Mike. Thanks for all showing up. Appreciate it. Oh, Wes. Yeah, man. Like I said, I haven't watched the new Dexter or whatever. I'm still in season 2. I finished season 1, and I can see what my comic book owner. He said stop at 4. Stop at 4. After that's it. That's what he said.
I think by the time, so they had a few really bad seasons, but then they kind of pulled it together towards the end. So, I mean, there's worse series out there, like Game of Thrones.
Thank you.
And see, there's only 2 bad, technically 1 bad whole season. That's that last trash they try to do. That last season is trash. I don't care what it says. I'm gonna say the whole thing as a whole is trash. Just that last season. And the reason why is because, okay, screw it. Let's get into it. Like I said, this is after I do talk about anything. I do not like the idea of the writers making Arya kill the Night King. That should have been Jon shit. That was already set up for when they first saw each other. So when he saw the death and stuff, and him having 2 encounters The third one, that time at the at a Winterfell was supposed to be him. That was his kill, not Arya's. Arya could have killed Cersei, and we'd have been glad. And I was pissed about how that bitch went out. She should have died suffering, screaming, torturing.
I just don't want to watch people in the Middle Ages. I don't want to watch people in the Middle Ages at all.
I know you don't, Marcus. I know you don't, Marcus. You're different from us because we can take Camelot stuff. I know. Camelot
we
days
like
is
dragons.
what I like.
Dragons are cool.
Yeah, dragons are cool.
Yeah, even dragons, I got a problem with that. I just think they're overgrown lizards.
So my gripe with it is that
I love you, bro. He's like, they got overgrown lizards.
Bro, if you were to find a real life dragon, don't we have real life dragons? Aren't Komodos considered dragons? Komodo dragon?
They're a branch of dragon, but not like ones in Camelot days.
I wonder how much that show would be worth. If a dragon was real,
to me, if a dragon was iguana.
Oh, okay. So basically, they're an iguana with wings. Basically, they're an iguana with wings and scales. I wonder how much that would be worth in real life. A couple million.
Minus the wings, but they have scales. I mean, that's what I call Komodo dragons, giant ass iguanas. That's really what they are. Like,
okay, so basically high cholesterol and diabetes. Okay, all right.
You got it.
So there you go. So I know my girlfriend. She's into The Witcher. She's been watching The Witcher. She thinks those are really good shows. I've seen parts of it. I was actually getting into it.
Season
and then
2 was garbage.
Okay. She said she likes season 2.
I'm pretty much getting it was.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
Well, season 1, they stayed a lot closer to the books, and a lot of people complained that the storylines were too convoluted. My retort to that is too many people have been watching so much television that has no storylines, so they're not used to dealing with an actual storyline. So season 1 Witcher is beautiful, and I think there always has to be differences in adaptations from books to television for good reason. But how those adaptations take place are very important. Season 1 stays very close to the books. Season 2, the showrunner had free creative control, and it's 98% bullshit that never happened. Like, she just made up her own stuff that had nothing to do with the books. And it was just season 2 was it was kind of a pain to watch.
Okay. Yeah. Because I remember she was watching it. I didn't really get started on first season at all, but I kind of jumped into the second season parts of it. I was somewhat getting into it, but that's because I didn't watch the first season, and maybe I can compare and contrast it. I originally started playing the game of Witcher 3, and then people started saying, "Oh, well, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be But then I told a lot of people in comments, I was like, "There's been many adaptations of video games into movies or shows, and a lot of them have failed. A lot have failed. Like you have the Doom. It didn't do that good. It was entertaining somewhat, but it overall failed. Resident Evil, it failed. Like the first 1 or 2 were actually pretty good, but then after that, it just fell off.
Well, this is supposed to be an adaptation from the books. The books came first, written in Poland, and from what I understand, because I don't play video games, but the video games were much closer to it than the show actually.
Exactly. Yeah, and I know they're making I'm sorry, but they're making the Halo show. They're making Halo the series, and it's based on the video game. I know they had books at the same time as the game was coming out, but I'm still skeptical about it. I'm hoping it's going to come out good.
Oh, please don't mess it up. Please don't mess it up. Please don't mess it up. Put the man in charge.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, but hey,
all these horrible book adaptations is because women are in charge. Good job.
Yeah, well, hey, equality equally sucks. But I think
listen, we all saw how that Charlie's Angel movie turned out. I never even saw it. I knew it was gonna be trash.
The reboot? Tell about the reboot?
That reboot?
Or the original?
Yeah, that reboot. No, not the original. The reboot is trash.
It was so bad that Sony didn't want to waste money on advertisements.
That's how bad it was. There's only one good female actress in that thing, and she's the only one that got screwed over, really, because she's actually good. But that's it. But there's some series I can recommend to you guys. I recommend Bitten if you've seen it. Bitten is really good.
What?
And
Bitten
series. It has 3 seasons in it. Yeah.
I started it, but it was Canadian, so I wasn't interested.
What?
It's too nice. Too nice.
Canadian?
Yeah.
Oh wait, the one with the wolves, correct?
Yeah.
You thought it was too much like was that True Blood? True Blood isn't True Blood with
No, it's
wolves?
nothing like True Blood. Don't compare it. Don't compare that to that garbage. All that. Hey, listen, True Blood is nothing but a big orgy.
Whoa. Well, werewolves and
I
vampires
could see
getting
why
done.
some people would be interested in that.
Say what?
I could see why some people would be interested in that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
What, the cult members?
Maybe.
I can definitely see the cult liking that, man.
I don't know. For me.
Well, hold on, Marcus. I'll let you go, but like, I also recommend Da Vinci's Demons. If you can't get into that, then I'm sorry. Then there's nothing left for you. Da Vinci's Demons is really good. You have an amazing main character. It's basically it's historical, but the difference is you follow Leonardo da Vinci. Is what you're finding the inventor when he invents stuff. It's an amazing series. He has 3 seasons to it.
Where do you find this?
I'm glad they didn't do. I'm so glad they didn't do a 4th because they probably would have screwed it up. Because I was getting worried in that last season. I was like, okay, thank God. They didn't screw it up. Thank goodness. Perfect. Okay.
This does sound a lot more interesting.
Wes is researching right
check
now.
That one out. Check that one out. Check that one. You might actually like that, Wes. If you follow what he's about, like I said, you're following him and his adventure to become the inventor that he's meant to be. Because remember, he has a bunch of accolades. He's a painter. He's an inventor. He's a what else? He's a freaking he's commissioned dancer and stuff like that. He was a whole bunch of stuff that he had.
Yeah, I think the shows that I got into when I was watching, I know I'm going to sound like a man's man, but I don't want to sound like a cliche, but Sons of Anarchy, Mayans MC, break. I know I see that smirk, Wes. I see that smirk.
You know what I miss? I miss Walker,
Bad.
Texas Ranger.
Okay, yeah,
Wes,
cool. Yeah.
Wes, I've actually seen all of that with my father when I was younger. He still watches it on the.
Did you hear the reboot? Did you hear about the reboot?
Reboot's on working on season 3 right now with Jared Padalecki from Supernatural, but I haven't watched that.
Yeah, Supernatural. Yeah, I like him too, but I haven't watched that one. I don't think that one's gonna. Okay, I love Jared Padalecki, but I don't think that's gonna hold up to what Chuck Norris's stuff was.
Oh, it's Chuck Norris, man.
I don't think you can truly reboot that, especially with Canadian actors.
Yeah, and so like I liked Breaking Bad. I like The Shield. I like The Shield. I don't know if you guys watched that show, The Shield. Michael Chiklis. Michael Chiklis, yeah, The Shield.
Wow.
It has that iconic thing, like like the theme of it when it starts. It's basically about four narcotics unit officers in LAPD, and like they're into illegal stuff. They're like basically crooked cops, but they try to make the best they can. They're kind of like anti-heroes, but also villains at the same time. And it's just a downward spiral that goes on from there. And the way that it ends is just messed up. But they say arguably that's what paved the way for FX to have the best shows sometimes in cable television. And those are some of the shows that I like watching. I like Shameless. Shameless was actually a pretty good show that I like to watch, the earlier seasons at least.
Shameless was good. Penny Dreadful was pretty good, but I haven't finished that one.
I got tired out on Shameless. They had no shame.
They had no shame. You got tired of it, you said?
Yeah. Well, I can't. I'm okay with drama shows, but if you're watching shows, I can't watch people just in a constant state of misery, and every time they try to do something good, it all just falls apart.
Yeah, it kind of loses hope for yourself sometimes. I felt like that sometimes. And there was another show that I had mentioned before a while back. It wasn't Supernatural. It was. It's slipping my mind. Oh, I'm sorry. Scrubs and The Office. Scrubs and The Office. Those are 2 shows that I like to watch a lot when I was younger. Yeah, Scrubs and The Office, because like there were still positive messages at the end of it. I know they understood the reality. Sometimes, life is about pros and cons, shitty situations and good situations, and good outcomes, bad outcomes. And it was
appreciate it.
And it's great. And I think the Office was just entertaining, and It was funny as hell. That before you have to be politically correct. Now it's like you can't air some of these shows now because now they're just so watered and diluted down now because you don't want to potentially trigger or hurt somebody. Yep, parental pussy ass control.
I do got one for somebody, and I really want to get I want to get Primal in one day when he watches those seasons. The 2011 Spartacus remake is amazing. I don't care what anyone says. That is a perfect series about men just being men, fighting for a cause that they believe in, the free people, and take down Rome. I love
and sex scenes.
Yeah, they're in there. They're in there, but it's still story though.
There was still another show that,
and it has way more action. It has way more action than I thought it was gonna have. I'm like, this is. I love Gladiator stuff, man. That always wins me over.
Yeah, there was another.
And you did your job.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna mention
Gennigus is the best character.
Okay. Gennigus. I was gonna mention Nip Tuck was a guilty pleasure I had as a teenager for some reason. Nip Tuck.
Yeah,
it was weird. Like I didn't expect to get into it, but I did. I think it was Hot Women.
We'll teach you how to cut open the fat. And,
there you go.
Sew it, stitch it.
Yeah, it was weird.
So I do remember that. I mean, don't look at me like that weird, Wes, but that's what it was. Like they're two surgeons. Like they're plastic.
Yeah, that's true. And was it like Florida, right? Like in Miami or something?
I have no idea where they were stationed at. I have no idea. Yo, that's the one thing I do not remember about that show. I'm like, where was that at? I don't know. I mean,
another show.
The way they were getting paid, it had to be like a major city.
Yeah. Another show that I got into was The Walking Dead, but the earlier seasons of The Walking Dead, like the first five, the first 5 seasons for me were okay. Like it's good, and then I kind of got lost through the 6th and 7th and the 8th and the 9th.
I dropped it at the 3rd.
Yeah, you told me. I told you to try it. I told you to give it a chance.
That governor. No. I've been giving it a chance, bro. This is when I was in college, bro. I dropped it. That governor shit pissed me off. It made no sense. Too many plot holes. Oh, that was the biggest one.
I want to hear Wes's point of view on the Walking Dead because I'm a huge Walking Dead fan and supporter, but I know like 6th through the 8th season, I kind of had trouble at times wanting to watch it sometimes. But I want to hear your point of view on the Walking Dead.
Do you want to know what the best zombie production ever was?
Mm-hmm.
Go for it. I'm listening.
Shaun of the Dead.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I freaking hate zombies. I think we're getting overly zombied here. I've never watched The Walking Dead. I'm not interested. I cannot get into. I watched. I remember. I think it all started with the Resident Evil series, the original Resident Evil series. That first movie was amazing, and then everybody's trying to recreate it, and they're failing. Dawn of the Dead was also good.
The remake. The remake.
The remake, that was also good, but everything after that, like it just went downhill. Everyone was just trying to cash in on zombies, and I can't get into it. So, Shaun of the Dead.
Getting old.
Were you a fan of the 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later? Were you a fan of those?
Let's see which one. I watched one of them with Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, the first one. That's 28 Days.
I watched that. I thought that was interesting.
Because it wasn't really so. It was people dying and becoming back to life, but they were more of the rabies of the monkey virus. Okay, because
zombie movies are not really about the zombies. It's more about how people are trying to survive and deal with them.
Yeah, I'm talking. Right. Yeah, like dealing with the world after,
World War Z. That's what that movie was about.
Yeah, World War Z was interesting.
Zombies? No, they didn't.
They
didn't get rid of zombies. All they did was find a cure. They live with the zombies. They were able to find a way to be cured from it, and then live in a world where the zombies run around, but they still have a life.
Yeah. So a lot of people think I Am. Yeah, a lot of people think I Am Legend had zombies. They were vampires because they couldn't come out through sunlight. Yeah, they were vampires. They weren't zombies. I bring that up because it's true. When the sun would come out, it would burn them. And then their fangs would come out, and you see their fangs come out of their mouths. But that's why people would turn into the vampires. But then once the sun goes down, it's free range.
And then they sleep during the day.
Exactly.
Zombies don't sleep.
Yeah, exactly. And then remember, when they sleep, they're in very dark rooms. And yeah, so a lot of people get that twisted. But I was like, oh well, It's up to you, man.
See the original?
Original, which one?
Original. So I Am Legend was actually a remake of Omega Man, starring Charlton Heston.
Oh, really? No doubt. I did not know that.
So I thought you can see you can see the similarities between the two and where they made differences. But Omega Man was also I would say that's still a good movie.
When did that come out? Omega Man?
I think that came out in like the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, okay.
But it's showing the same things, like he's going around town and just like having random conversations with people that aren't there because he's still trying to stay somewhat normal.
Sane in the mind a little bit before. Okay. Yeah, because I remember when I watched that scene when he's talking with the mannequins, I was like, okay, did he break? Is he preventing himself from breaking? That was my kind of conflict. Is he trying to not break, or has he already broken when he's in the video store talking to the mannequins?
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously I'm a dog person, so when I saw the dog, pass away, I was like, nah, like, don't do the dog like that. But hey, it was like his last thing holding on to his family before the dog passed away. But for me, those are like I was a huge avid fan of The Walking Dead, like you said, but mostly because of the human aspect of it, what humans would do after a post-apocalyptic world, what would they do to survive. And remember, man is the most savage animal of all, the savage hunter of all, because there's a reason why we're still here, and even though if we go to the wilds, there might be animals that'll destroy us and dismantle us, but overall, from a sophisticated society, ish, we're still at war with each other through politics and religion and stuff. But it's just I like those aspects, and it gets me into it. For me, for The Walking Dead, when it comes to that. But other than that, Sons of Anarchy is like probably one of my favorites as well. So I'm gonna get my beer and I'm gonna get my nuts and I'll watch that shit and be such a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm producing testosterone as we speak right now.
By talking about a show about a motorcycle gang?
Yeah. Sarcastic puns intended.
I never got into it. I think a really great show is The Expanse, but that's not for everyone.
I heard of that show. What is that one about? I've heard of it a lot.
So that is another book adaptation. They're filming their last season right now, which is fine. I wish they had put more money into it. But it's based in the future, probably, give it 100 years or so. We've colonized our solar system. We have Mars has become independent, and then you have the belt that's fighting for independence. So there's the was it the belt near Jupiter? Anyway,
okay.
The Belters they harvest rocks and minerals from the belt, and that's their trade. But what makes this different is that they actually discover, and I'm not giving you spoilers. I'm telling you what they discover in the first episode.
Okay.
Somebody discovers an ancient, something that's 1 billion years old, ancient relic that was supposed to hit Earth, but actually hit an asteroid. And it is a life from across the universe. And there's such a rich environment. The storytelling is so rich. There's so much world building, and understanding socioeconomic statuses of all three groups in there, and then how everything is changing with this new discovery of this ancient life. Actually, there's the Earth, Mars, and the belt. And then there's a fourth mysterious entity that keeps interfering with everything while everybody else is trying to sort out their own business. And all four entities are also trying to figure out what's going on. What is this thing sent to us from across the galaxy?
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like I'm sorry, go for it.
It's really good. It evolves. It's very good storytelling. Like I think seasons 4 and 5, the adaptations were not as well, but season 6, they're like, you know what, we need to pull our heads out of our ass and just do the adaptation as opposed to making social justice a thing.
Okay, because I was gonna say it sounds very like somewhat political, but it's like trade markets and like new government type thing, and like they're trying to make it structured in a way, new society.
Well, in all these things, there's always going to be some form of politics. But what we've been dealing with in television for like the past 6 years is everything has to be ultra politics. It has to be ultra one way, and you will see those little points throughout The Expanse where they're trying to make current time leftist talking points.
Oh God.
So, but it's not as bad as it is in like The Witcher. So the Expanse is still good to watch.
Okay. And it's not is that on Amazon or in the Netflix or?
It's on Amazon.
Okay. And is it a completed series now, or is it still like new seasons coming out?
It will be complete tomorrow. So and I'm really glad that they're actually ending it, because the book series that takes up after this season is 30 years in the future. So I don't want them to try and do anything else. It's kind of is what made what do you call it? We were just talking about it with the dragons, Game of Thrones, which was the book Song of Fire and Ice. What really shot them in the foot is they didn't end the series when they got through the last book. Now, there were some poor adaptations before them, but what really destroyed them is like, this is a cash cow. We're going to keep with it. Writers, just pull some stuff out of your ass and we'll film it.
Yeah.
That's why those last few seasons just made zero sense.
Right.
Yep.
And I was going to say too.
But they caught up too much to the book. I remember that specifically. They caught up. They went beyond the books.
Yeah, I was going to say too, people listening too. Other great shows that are on like Netflix, like Narcos, because it ties into kind of my job field, what I do in Mexico. Narcos and Narcos Mexico.
Narcos is good.
Yeah, Narcos and Narcos Mexico is good. It's actually a lot of factual. I've talked to some individuals, some of the agents that are retired now.
It is so factual that they had to stop filming the show because the drug cartels were threatening them.
Yeah, well, it is factual, and the reason is too is that in 2017, late 2017, the traveling and the agent scout, he was actually murdered, shot down for the show in 2017 for the first season of Mexico. He had been shot and murdered, and the political party didn't want to get involved. They were trying to deny that it was not narco trafficking involved, no cartel involved, but the way that his body was found was very cartel-esque. And that's a great show you guys can watch. Obviously, a lot of people still love the first original 3-season show, which is Narcos, the Colombia one with the Cali cartel and the Medellin cartel with Pablo Escobar and the Gentlemen of Cali. But then Narcos Mexico is more of the origins of the first Mexican cartel, which is Guadalajara, and the ones that splintered on after Miguel Felix Gallardo's downfall and the original trio. But I believe those are great shows. And then on top of that, I know I'm going to sound like a cliche, but Stranger Things can be very, because I like the retro era. The Cobra Kai show is good too. Cobra Kai has been a guilty pleasure for me. I love the Karate Kid.
I have been avoiding that show.
Cobra Kai is actually good because I've been into MMA since I was little, so that's why I liked it. I was into kickboxing, Greco-Roman wrestling, and I signed up for that when I was at a young age, and I went on, and so those are for me.
I kept thinking it was going to be so lame, people just trying to relive the original show, and I see they have the original actors coming back, like the original Cobra Kai leader. He came back, and I don't know. Maybe I just need to watch the show, but I've been avoiding it because I thought they're probably making a very cheesy remake.
I had the same kind of somewhat predictions, but then I was glad I gave it a fair chance. And my girlfriend and I, we watch it like when we sit down and the new seasons come out, we sit down and we binge watch it from time to time. But yeah, that so far the first season was the original 2 guys that were faced off in the tournament, and then at the end of the first season, I don't want to spoil too much, but you see the original instructor come back. Was it Kreese? Master Kreese from Cobra Kai? The old dude that was a dick. Yeah. The old dude that was a dick. And Johnny Lawrence is back, and Daniel LaRusso. And then other characters will come on back as the seasons go on. From the first Karate Kid to the second to the third Karate Kid, you'll see people in and out, and obviously the sensei Mr. Miyagi, he obviously in real life he passed away years ago, so that's why they wrote him off as, the sensei who passed away. Yeah, it's a great show though. I say give it a chance. Give it a chance. And Stranger Things, I don't know if you guys have watched it a lot or anything at all.
Yeah.
I have not watched it. I suppose I finally should by now, because that's right up my alley as far as things that I like.
Yeah, because you're always going to love and respect the original stuff from the 80s and the 90s. I still say 70s, 80s, and 90s music are probably the best music to me, in my opinion, because nowadays a lot of music isn't about, like you said, it's not about stories. It's just about making a beat and a repetitive song. It's not about like Megan Thee Stallion who says the same thing, body, yada, yada, yada. It's the same word and repeat. Then you just have tones and that's it. And like you said, it's all about like lyricist and the lyrical story, and that's it. That's what it should be about. That's why I always gravitated towards rock.
Because it's real music, not the what do you call it? Not the EDM music.
Oh, the beat, like just that gives me a headache. Like when I heard a lot of guys in my age group listening to it, they're like mindless zombies, just like dubstepping, like pounding on your feet. I was like, bro, first of all, you're missing your cartilage. Next thing you know, you're gonna be like walking with crutches by 30, and then they're stomping. Like I can't do that. I can't.
Funny.
EDM music, literally so bad that you have to take drugs to enjoy it.
Yeah, I was like, last I checked. Yeah, like last I checked, I don't need drugs to enjoy rock music, and it's whether it's alternative. Like I'm a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan. I've seen them live twice. I'm trying to see them a third time. Incubus, Nirvana, like AC/DC, Rolling Stones.
I need to see Bullets for My Valentine. I need to see Killswitch Engage. Those are the two bands I want to see. And Disturbed. Those are my top three.
Yeah, I like Disturbed too. Disturbed is the same.
Love Disturbed.
I love Disturbed.
Oh, the band?
Yeah, Disturbed. Yeah, the bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to work. So I live in the desert area in California, Southern California. So I live like 5 minutes away from Coachella Fest. So Coachella Fest, I used to work it from time to time. And I've met when they had Desert Trip like about 6 years ago. They had the Rolling Stones come here, Pink Floyd. I worked on stage with them and behind the scenes, and it was just amazing. And Brick in the Wall. We don't need no education. Stuff like that, old school. And they just don't make music like that anymore, man. It sucks. It's dying, and it's bad for my mental health.
Facts. I ventured outside of the American music when I was like 2008, 2009. That's when I started listening to a lot of Japanese music and Korean music. Like I said, I would consider myself an anomaly around that time because my family, I come from a family of policemen, military men, and musicians. So I think I just always had the natural ability to venture out, listen to different things. Like I listened to NSYNC when I was young. I listened to a lot of people. I listened to a lot of Caucasian music, not just my own music and my own ethnicity music. There's a lot of stuff I listened to. But
you mean you don't listen to any Foghat, no bluegrass?
No. Is that happy? I mean, dude, I didn't listen. Dude, listen, I didn't listen to reggae until 2009, bro. Like I said, it was a majority of Hispanic, Europop, Japanese and Korean music, and then those music just hit better for me because these guys are actually singing what they're feeling, and the difference, they're not talking about smashing bitches. The difference is they're talking about like they're actually being fun. They're actually doing something with the music that we've created over here and taking it to an nth degree. Like they change it up, and I'm like, I'm listening to this every day. Why is it that I enjoy more fun listening to this than I do that other music? This sounds dead. These guys sound happy and enthusiastic about what they're singing. They got me enthusiastic, me doing my job. That don't never happen before. Because one makes me feel down, the other makes me feel happy. That's rare. Or feel in a good mood more often than not. Like there's
Wes,
like I said, there's a lot of stuff you can learn from. Go ahead,
Wes. How old are you? Like, if you don't mind me asking. 39?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're a bit older than me.
Hey, you look very young. You look
young. I was gonna say. I thought you were like 32, 31. Yeah.
I stay in shape.
I can tell you're rocking the National Guard shirt. I can see that.
I outrun most people. I outrun people 20 years younger than me.
Isn't that sad and embarrassing? Isn't that sad and embarrassing?
Oh, it's not embarrassing. If you outrun them, no, it's not embarrassing. That's awesome.
No, not on your part. On their guy, on their end, over there. Yeah, I was like, these.
Yeah, they should be embarrassed.
19-year-olds out of high school, friggin'
can't run
an 8-minute mile.
Yeah, my fastest 3 mile when I was in the Marines. I did 19 minutes. That was the fastest. But I had a friend who could run it in 17. I thought he had like supersonic speed. I was like, teach me, dude. I couldn't run faster than 18:45. That was like the fastest I could ever do, and that was it. But I had like leg injuries, but whatever.
I feel you on that.
But all I was gonna ask you was, because you're a military man, how was your experience in the military?
Well, I actually spent 13 years in the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
And I got out. I got out, went to college, and then had a job in DC for a little while. Horrible place to try and live. I realized I just need to finish up my military career, and then at the age of 37, I'm sitting in MEPS, getting ready, joining the National Guard, joining the military for the third time in my life.
You said third time in your life?
Because I actually got out of the Marine Corps after 8 years, and then came back into the AR program.
Active reserves? Okay.
Yeah, I was in that for 5 years. And that's when I started raising my 2 girls on my own. And I'm like, I can't do this. I hate everything.
Right.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, because I was feeling the same way like you. And I had only done 7 years almost.
So, but I think my biggest takeaway from that is a takeaway that you can have in most things, not just the military. But throughout most of my life, I never understood that I needed to put myself at the center of my own decisions. And you see the people that do best in life are the ones that understand that at an early age, that their parents are able to effectively put that into them to make their own decisions and put themselves at the center of it. Does this benefit you? I was always thinking about other things, so I always made decisions that I didn't want to make. I pursued things that I didn't actually want to pursue. It was really strange. When it came to something I really wanted, I stayed away from it, it's very counterintuitive. So my experience throughout most of the military has not been very positive, but I never pursued what I wanted to do. And within the military, there's so many things you can do, and there's so many options. It's quite tremendous. But again, most people don't want to do it. That's fine. I should have went MSG, but instead of getting married.
Yeah, a lot of young Marines. Sometimes they get told that, and they're like, "Hey, man, get more money, get married, get with the chick that's most loyal to you, the most quickest option that's going to say yes to you."
That's
and
a bad
some guys
idea.
that I know, and I know you've heard that, Wes, because I've heard it. They told me that, like, oh man, unless you become MSG or something and get promoted easily. I was like, it's not how it works, man, because a lot of people got to understand cutting scores change. You have to make sure you're getting perfect scores on literally like PFT, CFT. Like you got to get all your merits. Like you got to get all the courses online, your schooling, like all these. It's a lot more hassle than people understand, and you could be off by a few points and you won't get promoted.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to ask the second question. What was your MOS in the Marine Corps?
For the first 8 years, I was ammo tech.
Shout out to ammo techs. Shout out to my ammo techs.
Yeah. Then when I came back in, I switched over to admin, which is military admin. It is a beast. And coming into that after 8 years of hating admin, I was yelling at people for things like stopping someone's pay. I yelled at a kid once. I'm like, you're stopping his pay? You're going to tell him first? Like, no, I'm not supposed to tell him. I'm like, yes, you are. You're stopping his pay. He doesn't know that you're doing this. Notify somebody. Stupid things like that. He got like overpaid from they ran his meal card wrong or something like that. But you cannot take away someone's pay for 2 months without telling them first, or at least putting it out into payments or something. So I brought that to it. But now that I'm in the Guard, I actually came back in under my ammo MOS because it was just easier to transfer over. I shouldn't have done that. But my goal was to actually go full time and be a recruiter, and I was recruiter for a while until we ran into problems with Democrat spending. So I remember how we activated a bunch of National Guard to go up to D.C. for,
the Capitol.
Yeah, for like what several months.
Yeah,
those guys were being treated like shit. Congress didn't care. Like these guys were literally being given tainted food because the people up there, the caterers that were hired to provide food, viewed the National Guard, viewed the armed soldiers there as enemies, so they were giving them tainted food. And Congress, after a few days, actually took all the rifles away from the soldiers. Like, okay, how are we going to protect you now? It was freaking ridiculous. But that was the activation by Congress, meaning Congress was supposed to pay for it. They didn't do that. Matter of fact, they still have not back paid the National Guard for that, and the National Guard is essentially crippled. Domestic security is currently crippled because of this.
Because of all the politics of it?
Because they have not paid the National Guard.
Right. Because I had a friend of mine who was in the National Guard. He was talking about this a few years back. Not as much as it is now, but he was telling me about some of the bullshit that they were going through and the budget cuts and like not getting paid well and not getting paid at all times. Mm-hmm. Benefits are being reduced, taken away. I was going to say this too, because isn't it interesting how they try to spice up or change the headlines for clickbait, but they leave the other things out that should matter, and they don't involve those details in the press or in the news.
Yeah, because when you read the actual article, you're going to see in there the facts in the article can completely contradict the headline because mainstream media is banking on you not actually reading the article these days.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
All right. I think I'm gonna end it here, but I do want to say this, Wes, Marcus. I'm probably gonna do a segment, and I kind of want y'all two both on there because this will be good for men who might think about joining the military or who are already in the military. It's good to give you guys to share your stories and your experiences with that. I'm probably gonna do a segment next week for that. If you're not too busy to join.
Yeah, I was gonna say 100 Watts can talk on it because he was an MP as well when he was in the military.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna try to get him on, and we'll probably do it next Tuesday if I have that day off again. Because I'll probably schedule these streams to be Tuesday night, if anything. So to make sure it doesn't interfere with anyone else's schedule, and plus that everybody has a chance to be on. But before that stream even starts, I want to make sure I get you guys there early so I can introduce you guys and y'all can tell y'all story literally. I'll ask questions too, but the thing is, I just want you to be able to tell the viewers that are viewing this, your story, your experiences, your truth. That's what I care about.
Oh.
And no one's gonna dilute it here. I promise you that. No one will
appreciate you.
Anybody.
Yeah, well, I appreciate Wes. I appreciate Wes for sharing. I appreciate Jay for allowing us to have a panel here to talk. And I just wanted to learn more from Wes's background because I saw it. He was very motivated, and I saw the NG shirt. But it's always well to hear someone else's backstory because that's part of the reason why I joined the military for different reasons. I obviously. Similar, but also different. I wanted to learn different guys' backgrounds and have a little brotherhood and just learn something, be proud of something. If I can earn it hard, I can earn it on my own, and something that people can't take it away from. And just the benefits was a bonus. Plus, women like a man in uniform, so it got me some good pussy. They did. I'm not gonna lie.
I still have my uniforms ready just in case,
Yeah, those balls, nice, right? Those balls and ceremonies. The balls and ceremonies. Damn.
Hell, just meet a woman for a date wearing your uniform, just randomly.
Right, exactly. There you go. All right, but anyways, it's been a great chat. Shout out to Wes. Shout out to Jay. I don't know, Wes, if you have social media, want to shout it out as well on the panel. Any reaction or YouTube channel or whatever you do.
No,
Man.
I don't do my own YouTube anymore. I had a YouTube channel for a while, a couple of years ago. But I'm not in that space anymore. Now I find a panel. I'm like, okay, I want to go talk about that. I don't want to listen to the panel. I want to be on the panel.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and I appreciate you sharing.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice seeing you all again. And
yeah.
Definitely, Wes.
Yeah.
We'll meet up again then.
When did you say well, Jay, when did you say the next stream? Did you want to have this about guys with veterans or military experience?
I'm gonna say next Tuesday, if anything. I'm gonna make sure I make time to have a day off for that, so everybody can get a chance to come on. You, Wes, 100 watts, y'all can all share your stories and literally about what you've done, about like everything. That's why I said no one's gonna dilute it. No one's gonna do whatever here. Like I said, I'm the moderator, and don't worry, no one's gonna thought police you on your thoughts. Not while I'm around. So I just want you guys to be able to come in and just share your experience.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Like I said, I need better. I kind of like to hear military men actually speak besides my own father and my brother who have actually done service. So, I always like to congratulate pretty much men who have sacrificed their life for this country, who've done the actual service. I want to thank them a lot for that. Because the one thing I will not allow ladies to do, modern day ladies or any person or you America in general, is say that men are trash. And I refuse. And anytime I hear that, that pisses me off because you're disrespecting military men in my eyes when you're doing that shit. That's why I get very irritated when I hear that. So if they're so trash, how about we throw your ass into the front lines? These men here, you two brothers, literally right here, could tell them, guess what? You wouldn't survive freaking a week, maybe a few days doing that job. I know they wouldn't survive. Most likely they'd be dead and blown up. So that's why you shouldn't. That's why I told them they should be careful of what they're saying. And that's disrespectful to your grandfather, my grandfather, his grandfather. That's disrespectful.
You heard that? You heard that? You raging feminist and you freaking PETA. Take that away and shove it. Here you go.
I don't know what PETA has to do with anything, but I know the other thing.
Hey,
but,
man.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever, man. Whatever. Say them too. They have a problem. They have a problem when I eat beef jerky and they get mad at me. Whatever. All right.
I don't know.
Later, guys.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. I don't want to touch upon. But guys, thanks for joining and have a great night. And we'll be back here next Tuesday. We're gonna have these guys on here explain their experiences, and I'm looking really forward to to them sharing that. Everybody, bloody days, glory nights, and have a salutation night.
Night, everyone.
Deuces.